Chapter 1884. Dragon wave raging sand in midair, the aura of the ice soul origin spread out in all directions, filling the entire area with a biting cold wind. The ice spirit ghost wolf opened its bloody mouth and released an even colder primordial spiritual energy in front of it. Lang Yan's face was filled with fear as he felt the cold aura of Hong Meng's aura. The anxiety in his heart increased by several levels. Lang Yan hurriedly took a few steps back, trying to calm his agitated emotions. However, Lang Yan was still a ninth-layer expert of the Hong Meng Yuan Jie. He was able to calm himself down quickly during a battle. Very quickly, Lang Yan changed his mindset. Even if Long Chen had the upper hand in the previous battle, allowing Long Chen to steal the limelight, Lang Yan did not only have that one move to defeat Long Chen. In front of so many people, if he, a ninth-layer expert of the Hong Meng Yuan Jie, were to lose to a fifth-layer expert of the Hong Meng Yuan Jie, it would be the most humiliating thing. Lang Yan would not allow such a thing to happen. Even without the help of the primordial true dragon, even if he used a secret technique, even if he revealed his true form, he would still tear this arrogant brat Long Chen to shreds. I, Lang Yan, will let him know the price of offending the Long Meng Polar Dragon Wolf clan. Suddenly, Lang Yan's blood-red eyes were filled with killing intent. His face trembled slightly and the aura of Hong Meng around him became unstable. The ice soul ghost wolf continued to advance. Although the aura of Hong Meng around him was gradually weakening, the aura of the ice soul origin was still maintained at a level that Lang Yan could feel. Long Chen's purpose was to make Lang Yan feel the pressure in his heart. Very quickly, when the ice soul ghost wolf was only a few feet away from Lang Yan, an extremely violent aura of Hong Meng burst out from Lang Yan's body. At the same time, Lang Yan's entire body underwent a huge transformation. Lang Yan's human appearance gradually disappeared and green hair suddenly grew all over his body. At the same time, Lang Yan crouched down and the fangs in his mouth grew longer. It was exactly the same as when Long Chen fought Lang Quang. Lang Yan was about to reveal his true form. Rumble, amidst the violent explosions of Hong Meng, numerous blood shadows flew in all directions. When Long Chen saw this, he immediately controlled the ice soul ghost wolf to stop. Long Chen did not dare to recklessly deal with such an unknown situation. Soon, a dragon wolf that was close to 30 meters tall suddenly emerged from the chaos around Lang Yan. Long Chen could clearly see that Lang Yan's dragon wolf true body was much stronger than Lang Quang's dragon wolf true body. Lang Yan's wolf's body, red. From time to time, a blood-red radiance would be emitted from the dragon wolf true body. As the brush danced, Grand Mist's aura suddenly rose. Dragon wolf true form? Since Lang Yan had already reached this stage, Long Chen could no longer use the ice soul ghost wolf to deal with him. Long Chen's expression was solemn and he frowned slightly. He could not help but tighten his grip on the dragon halberd. From his previous battle with Lang Quang, Long Chen understood that in the Long Meng Polar region, the strongest battle form of the demon race was to reveal their true form. This way, their strength and aura would increase by leaps and bounds. However, although this form increased his combat power, it also had a fatal flaw. Once the dragon-born demon race released their demon beast true forms in battle, it meant that they no longer had a better way to deal with their enemies. Releasing their demon beast true forms was their last resort. They wanted to use the primordial chaos force from releasing their demon beast true forms to quickly kill their enemies. However, if Long Chen could defeat Lang Yan while Lang Yan was in his true form, or at least drag the battle out to a draw, it would be equivalent to defeating Lang Yan completely. If you can't defeat me in your strongest form, what other methods do you have? Long Chen's aura was at its peak. Lang Yan, you want to defeat me with your true form? It won't be easy for you. Long Chen decisively recalled the ice soul ghost wolf. It was obvious that the ice soul ghost wolf was of no use at this moment. Long Chen would have a higher chance of winning if he recalled the ice soul ghost wolf and fought with his full strength. The sun behind Long Chen grew larger and larger. At the same time, the fire dragon shadow condensed in Long Chen's body. After a short moment, Long Chen released the fire dragon shadow from the heaven and earth fire dragon art. Longchen did not use the heavenly dragon art, the Ice Soul Ghost Wolf, or the Origin Ice Soul. Longchen wanted to use the pure fire dragon's strength. The pure fire dragon's heaven and earth fire dragon would defeat Lang Yan. On the other side, Lang Yan was also prepared. After Lang Yan revealed his dragon wolf true form, his expression became extremely ferocious. At the same time, Hong Meng's aura around the dragon wolf true form gradually grew stronger. Dragon Wolf Wild Sand. Lang Yan roared as Longchen gathered his aura. Although Lang Yan maintained his dragon wolf true form, for some reason, he could still let out a roar that shook people's hearts. Hong Meng's astral wind rose in the wasteland. Lang Yan's body began to twitch. On the ground, Ali saw this terrifying scene and couldn't help but frown. Feng Wu's expression was solemn and he seemed to be deep in thought. Longchen couldn't understand what was going on. He could only tense his mind and prepare for Lang Yan's sudden attack. Under Lang Yan's control, the astral wind above the wasteland quickly absorbed the Hong Meng's aura around Lang Yan. Before Longchen could react, an earth-shattering explosion resounded in the wasteland. Clang! Hong Meng's astral wind engulfed the Hong Meng's aura around Lang Yan. Several pillars of Hong Meng's aura burst out from Lang Yan's body and scattered in all directions. At the same time, Lang Yan's dragon wolf true form leapt into the air. The enormous dragon wolf true form rode on the raging winds in the air. The dragon wolf wild sand charged directly towards Longchen. This collision didn't seem fancy, but Longchen could sense that the sand around Lang Yan contained all of Lang Yan's Hong Meng's aura. If Longchen was grazed by the sand, his entire body would be torn to shreds. Lang Yan's expression was ferocious. The Hong Meng's aura around him had almost covered the entire area. Longchen wasn't the only one who felt this. Even the members of the Dragon Wolf tribe on the ground felt the unparalleled power contained within the Dragon Wolf Wild Sand. Chapter 1885. Flaming Dragon swallows the sun. At this moment, Longchen did not dare to slack off. After gathering all of his Hong Meng power, Longchen heaved a sigh of relief as he faced Lang Yan, who was about to pounce on him in the next moment. Immediately after, the flaming dragon that emerged from Longchen's meridians suddenly emitted a red glow, as if it was going to light up the entire world. Then, the brilliant sun behind Longchen shone brightly, as if it was a real sun. Flaming Dragon's divine power, invincible. Longchen shouted. Before he could finish speaking, the flaming dragon directly leaped onto the brilliant sun behind Longchen. In an instant, the two merged into one. Rise! After he finished speaking, Longchen's entire body suddenly floated up, immediately towering above everyone else. Behind Longchen, a flaming dragon whizzed out, as if it was a ruler that had been dormant for a long time. The flaming dragon's howl contained an extremely majestic aura that directly suppressed the entire world. Roar! When the flaming dragon's entire body was revealed, Longchen's entire body seemed to have merged with the flaming dragon. The dragon halberd in his hand had long since disappeared. Longchen floated in front of the flaming dragon, his body faintly moving. As the flaming dragon spiraled, a huge Hong Meng scarlet flame energy condensed in the sky and directly spread downwards. This flaming dragon's power was extremely wild and violent. When it came into contact with the dragon wolf frenzy that had previously struck fear in everyone's hearts, it actually forcefully exhausted the dragon wolf frenzy. Bang! Not only that, but what caused everyone to be even more surprised was that after the flaming dragon wolf frenzy broke through the dragon wolf frenzy, it actually directly fell towards the wastelands below, smashing into the ground with a loud bang. On the wastelands, a huge sinkhole appeared, containing the scarlet flame energy that was difficult to digest. Once again, Longchen stole the limelight, but Lang Yan was not very angry. In fact, the moment he came into contact with the flaming dragon, Lang Yan had already investigated clearly. This flame dragon that looked down upon the world was nothing more than an empty shell. As he thought of this, Lang Yan suddenly increased his strength. The endless dragon wolf wild sand once again blasted towards Changchen. The power of the flame dragon and the power of the wild sand, two completely different forces collided fiercely in the air. It was like a volcanic eruption colliding with a strong gale. It was difficult to determine the outcome of the battle with the naked eye. Boom! The two forces intertwined for a long time. Finally, when Lang Yan's dragon wolf true body collided with Long Chen's flame dragon shadow, a loud explosion was heard. The Hongmeng storm created by this collision alone was much stronger than the Hongmeng storms created by all the previous battles in the wilderness. Furthermore, it was several times stronger. Between the majestic heaven and earth, Hongmeng exploded infinitely. Everyone on the wasteland was unable to withstand the sweeping primordial storm and had no choice but to scatter in all directions. It was only when they were about 10 miles away from the center of the storm that they were able to slowly move around Hongmeng. At this moment, everyone was staring intently at the earth-shattering collision in the air. They all understood that this confrontation was the cornerstone that would determine the outcome of the battle. Long Chen, I will definitely kill you. The dragon wolf true body, which was wrapped in the dragon wolf wild sand, let out a fierce roar filled with anger. Hongmeng, which was about to solidify, emitted a piercing sound as the flame dragon's power filled the sky. Law of heaven and earth, flame dragon swallows the sun. Long Chen's flame dragon suddenly rushed out, his eyes filled with the color of a flame dragon. Heaven and earth flame dragon art. Long Chen displayed the heaven and earth flame dragon art to the extreme. This heaven and earth flame dragon art was one of the top cultivation techniques of the dragon tribe in Longmeng 100,000 years ago. After nearly a year of Long Chen's practice, Long Chen finally displayed the strongest technique of this cultivation technique. Boom! When Long Chen's loud cry began to reverberate across the sky, countless natural air pillars that gathered the strength of the fire dragon immediately erupted from the fire dragon illusory figure. After an instant of gathering, Long Chen's mind flashed and all of them smashed toward the dragon wolf real body that was pouncing over. Even in the face of such a majestic attack, Lang Yan had no intention of defending himself. Surprisingly, at this critical juncture, Lang Yan once again condensed Hongmeng around his body. After a short period of accumulation, Lang Yan released all of his Hongmeng into the dragon wolf wild sand around his body. Perhaps, in Lang Yan's opinion, Long Chen, who was at the 5th level of Hongmeng Yuan Jia, was just bluffing no matter what. Even if he could create such a majestic Hongmeng aura, it would still be a bluff. Lang Yan also believed that with his attack, no matter how majestic Long Chen's attack was, it would be shattered in the face of absolute power. Wishful thinking. When Long Chen saw this scene, he could not help but sneer. Long Chen was very clear that these pillars of Hongmeng energy formed by the flame dragon's power were not as simple as ordinary Hongmeng attacks. Within these pillars of Hongmeng energy were the flame dragon's power that Long Chen had personally refined. The so-called power of the flame dragon was formed by Long Chen borrowing the power of the heavenly dragon bloodline in his body to forcefully suppress it. Therefore, this was the true suppression of bloodline power. At this moment, if Lang Yan, who was in the dragon wolf true body, wanted to resist the suppression of the heavenly dragon bloodline. However, Long Chen knew that the dragon bloodline of the dragon wolf tribe was unable to resist. Immediately after, a pillar of Hongmeng energy came into contact with the dragon wolf wild sand around Lang Yan. Before the pillar of Hongmeng energy could fully release the flame dragon's power, Lang Yan's eyes were filled with intense shock. However, it was too late for him to realize this. The pure suppression of the dragon bloodline gathered like a storm. At this moment, Lang Yan could not even gather the energy in his body, let alone attack again. More and more Hongmeng energy pillars poured in, causing the dragon wolf wild sand around Lang Yan to gradually disintegrate. Clang! 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 Next, the Hongmeng energy pillars bombarded Lang Yan's dragon wolf true body. The sound of Hongmeng explosions rang out, and Lang Yan's dragon wolf true body was instantly covered in cuts and bruises. In the wastelands, the dragon wolf true body, which had originally been filled with an unparalleled aura, was destroyed in an instant along with the dragon wolf wild sand around it. Chapter 1886. Yang Longmeng. The dragon wolf wild sand around the dragon wolf true body was formed from Lang Yan's purest Hongmeng spiritual energy. When it exploded, the pure and dense Hong Meng Gang energy on Lang Yan's body dissipated. The seemingly powerful dragon wolf Wild Sand was already at the end of its road. Impossible! A ferocious roar rang out in midair as the Hong Meng storm swept out. The members of the dragon wolf tribe, who had escaped from the center of the storm, raised their heads to look. They saw that the dragon wolf true body, which everyone had thought was the strongest fighting force, was actually being blasted away by several rumbling air pillars condensed from the power of the fire dragon within the primordial storm. The dragon wolf Wild Sand shattered and collapsed. The Hong Meng vortex that was formed from the shockwave spread out and resounded across the sky. Bang! The dragon wolf true body was enveloped by several pillars of flame. Under the bombardment of the Hong Meng storm, it landed heavily on the wasteland. A large crater, nearly 100 feet wide, was suddenly formed in the wasteland. From the moment it was formed, it began to emit Hong Meng's spiritual energy. The dragon wolf tribesmen looked at the huge crater in the wasteland and then looked at Long Chen, who was standing tall in midair as the Hong Meng storm gradually disappeared. Soon, everyone understood that Lang Yan had completely lost the previous battle. Feng Wu's face was filled with shock. Only when he confirmed that Lang Yan was really lying in the huge crater did Feng Wu completely believe the result. Feng Wu's expression was solemn. He looked somewhat sluggishly at the resolute figure riding the flame dragon in midair and could not help but feel reverence in his heart. No wonder Longchen dared to openly block the entire dragon wolf tribesman by himself. Moreover, when he faced Lang Yan earlier, he was still so calm. It turned out that he was truly capable. As for the remaining members of the dragon wolf tribe, their faces turned pale and they were at a loss for what to do. Lang Quang seemed to be on the verge of breaking down as his eyes were filled with horror. Even though this was the truth, Lang Quang still couldn't believe it. How could Lang Yan, who was at the 9th level of the Hong Meng origin realm, lose to a human at the 5th level of the Hong Meng origin realm? He was actually right. Ali looked at the resolute figure in midair and could not help but smile. Yueling and Yueya, who were behind Ali, also smiled. Since they had won this battle, it naturally meant that the two of them were completely out of danger. In midair, Longchen did not have the time to observe the actions of the people in the wastelands. At this moment, he was trying his best to calm the restless Hong Meng's spiritual energy in his body. Although the power of the previous attack was great, this level of attack was almost fatal to Long Chen. The ultimate move of the Heaven and Earth Fire Dragon art. Even now, when Long Chen recalled it, he still felt that it was somewhat unbelievable. After a long while, Long Chen calmed down the Hong Meng's spiritual energy in his body. Although he had suffered quite a bit of backlash and was somewhat injured, Long Chen was very clear that Lang Yan, who was thrown into the crater by him, was injured even more severely than him. Very quickly, the dragon wolves reacted and decisively jumped into the crater. After searching for a while, a few dragon wolves brought out the dying Lang Yan. It was obvious that the current Lang Yan was close to death. Lang Quang quickly took out a series of spiritual herbs. After refining the medicinal properties, he slowly injected them into Lang Yan's body, temporarily preserving Lang Yan's life. After doing all this, Lang Quang raised his head and looked at Long Chen, who was still riding on a flame dragon. The aura around him immediately dissipated. Lang Quang was very clear that if the figure in midair used the same move again, none of the dragon wolves would be able to survive. Although they were very far apart, Lang Quang could still see the intense killing intent in Long Chen's eyes. "Remember, my name is Long Chen." Long Chen shouted loudly. Lang Quang's face was filled with anger, but he did not dare to show it. He could only grit his teeth and say, "What are you trying to do? Kill all of us?" Long Chen shook his head and said, "If you guys didn't chase after me, I wouldn't have fought with you guys. However, since I have fought, I will teach you guys a lesson. Go back and tell the leader of your Dragon Wolf clan what happened today. In the future, the Dragon Fox clan in Long Meng Polar region will not be allowed to be bullied by anyone. If your Dragon Wolf clan is not convinced, then feel free to come and try. Even if you guys are Hong Meng Tianjing, I will still kill you." Long Chen's voice reverberated between heaven and earth. When the dragon wolves heard these words, they could not help but feel angry, but they did not dare to say anything. When he saw that no one from the dragon wolf clan dared to provoke him, Longchen felt relieved. If nothing unexpected happened during this battle, he might become famous in Longmeng Polar region. In this way, if Long Yuan and Long Mu were in Longmeng Polar region, they would definitely come looking for him. No matter what, Long Chen's goal was achieved. Slowly landing beside Ali, Longchen smiled at Ali and said, "How do you say this? I didn't lie to you, right? As long as it's not Hongmeng Tianjing, I can deal with it." Ali sneered and said, "Then what you said just now, didn't you say that you can also deal with the powerhouses of Hongmeng Tianjing?" Longchen waved his hand and said, "I was thinking that after today's battle, my friends and disciples will definitely come looking for me. At that time, when they come, not to mention Hongmeng Tianjing, even Hongmeng Dao ancestor will not be a problem." This boast was a little too big. Even Yuling and Yuya behind Ali made a look of disbelief. Ali's expression changed and said, "How are you now? Are you injured?" This sudden relationship caught Longchen a little off guard. After a while, Longchen slowly said, "I'm okay. I'm fine. I can deal with it myself. My injuries are not serious." His long string of answers made Yuling and Yuya burst into laughter. Ali looked at Longchen, who was not used to it, and once again put on a cold expression and said, "I'm just being polite. Don't think too highly of yourself." Longchen let out a long breath. "This is the real Ali, then let's go now?" Longchen looked at the group of dragon wolves in the distance who were about to leave and said, "Didn't you say that we're not far from the habitat of your dragon fox clan?" Hearing this, Yuling and Yuya were full of anticipation. Ali nodded and said, "Okay, since you're fine, we don't have to waste time here. Let's go, Yuling and Yuya, you two lead the way." Chapter 1887. Just as Longchen had expected, after the battle with Lang Yan, Longchen's name had indeed spread throughout the entire Longmeng Polar region. Longchen was also puzzled. Logically speaking, this battle was too humiliating for the Dragon Wolf clan. Anyone with a bit of dignity would not have spread this news. However, only the Dragon Wolf clan was present during the battle. Could this news really have been spread by the Dragon Wolf clan? Slapping themselves in the face? Longchen felt that it was unlikely. After thinking about it, Longchen felt that Feng Wu, who had been with the Dragon Wolf clan that day, was more likely. Longchen had snatched the sacrifice that the Dragon Wolf clan wanted to offer to the Tianfeng tribe. Naturally, there would be some friction between Feng Wu and the Dragon Wolf clan. As for the root of the matter, Longchen was too lazy to think about it. After all, he had already achieved his goal. If Long Yuan and Long Mu were really here, then all he had to do was wait for them to come find him. Because Yuling and Yuya were only at the Hongmeng consolidation realm, their flying speed was naturally slower than that of the Hongmeng Yuan GS Longchen and Ali. However, because they were forced to let Yuling and Yuya lead the way, Longchen and Ali had no choice but to reduce their speed. Originally, it would only take half a day's journey. However, after several stops, they only showed signs of reaching their destination when the sun was about to set. "Sister Ali, Brother Longchen, we will reach the Heavenly Sun Mountain in about 30 minutes. Yuling's expression was a little excited. It seemed that they had left this place for a long time. Longchen did not ask Yuling and Yuya what happened when they were captured by the Dragon Wolf clan. He just let them do as they pleased. Longchen nodded and said, "We're finally here. We can have a good rest now." Ali looked at the somewhat familiar terrain and for a moment, her face was filled with disappointment. The four of them flew for a while and saw the Heavenly Sun Mountain in front of them. However, Yuling and Yuya brought Longchen and Ali in a big circle instead of flying in a straight line. Longchen could not help but be curious and asked, "What's going on? Why can't we go there just now?" Yuling, this side of the Heavenly Sun Mountain is Yuya translation. Dragon Fox clan can't go there. Longchen immediately recalled the situation of the Dragon Fox clan that Ali had introduced to him before. At that time, he understood. How Yuling and the Dragon Wolf clan Is translation, you translation, translation translation, translation in you translation translation, translation 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 you translation 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 translations, translation translation, and you translation translation translation, 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 chens, translation translation. Longchen was, had been away home had, Mu was, she that she, was, it was as if Ali had not heard Long Chen's words and did not react. Yu Ling pondered for a moment and said, the Dragon Python clan is one of the 4 great demon clans in the Long Meng Polar region. The Dragon Wolf clan cannot be compared to them. It's just that in the Long Meng Polar region, no one wants to meddle in other people's business. Therefore, the Dragon Python clan mostly turns a blind eye to the vile actions of the Dragon Wolf clan. They only take action when the Dragon Wolf clan threatens the interests of the Dragon Python clan. Longchen nodded and continued to look at Yu Ling. Yu Ling continued, thousands of years ago, the Dragon Python clan set their sights on the Heavenly Sun Mountain of our Dragon Fox clan. After a great battle, the Dragon Python clan occupied the inside of the Heavenly Sun Mountain. The other places of the Heavenly Sun Mountain still belong to us Dragon Foxes. After that, the Dragon Python clan cultivated in peace and did not do much harm to us Dragon Foxes. Not only that, when the Dragon Wolf clan attacked us several times, some Dragon Pythons even helped us. Longchen could tell that in the Long Meng Polar region, there was really no regard for human feelings. It was the law of the jungle where the strong preyed on the weak. These demon clans maintained the original nature of those who were not of their clan. For the sake of cultivation resources and the stability of their respective clans, they had indeed revealed their true nature as demon beasts. The Heavenly Sun Mountain is jointly occupied by the Dragon Python clan and the Dragon Fox clan. Then, what forces are around the Heavenly Sun Mountain? Longchen continued to ask. Yu Ling thought for a moment and said, besides the Dragon Wolf clan, the rest is the forces of the Great Desolation Fort. Great Desolation Fort? Longchen frowned. This name sounded a little strange. Ali was also interested. Obviously, Ali had never heard of the strength of the Great Desolation Fort. Is it a new force from the Zone of Desolation? Ali asked. Yu Ling nodded and said, that's right. The Great Desolation Fort was built about 200 years ago by a group of cultivators who rushed over from the Zone of Desolation. There were almost all kinds of demon clans among them, and there were even quite a few human clans. On the surface, they said that they were gathering cultivation resources from the heaven and earth, but in reality, many people were secretly hunting the demon clans not far from the Great Desolation Fort. The 4 major demon clans don't care about this kind of thing? Ali was particularly shocked. Yu Ling said helplessly, as long as the 4 major demon clans are not bullied, why would the 4 major demon clans care? Besides, there are all kinds of demon clans in the Great Desolation Fort. Most of the members of the 4 major demon clans are leaders in the Great Desolation Fort. With such a close relationship, the 4 major demon clans naturally do not care about these things. Moreover, the people of the Great Desolation Fort only hunt those demon clans without the Dragon Clan's bloodline, take their demon crystals, and use the space channel to go to the polar region of Hongmeng or Pangmeng to exchange for cultivation resources to strengthen their own cultivation. A series of things are done secretly, and no one has any evidence. Besides, the Great Desolation Fort is very powerful. If they take the initiative to provoke it, the gains will not make up for the losses. Naturally, the 4 major demon clans are not fools, Yu Ling said slowly. Longchen naturally understood the situation, and said, is there a Hongmeng Tianjing expert in the Great Desolation Fort? Yu Ling quickly nodded and said, not only is there, but there are many of them. However, most of the Hongmeng Tianjing experts are from the human clan. After all, at this level, any demon clans will not lack cultivation resources. Naturally, there is no need for them to stay in the Great Desolation Fort. I didn't expect that there would be so many Hongmeng Tianjing experts in the Hongmeng Polar region. When I have time, I will go and take a look, Longchen said with a smile. While they were talking, the time it took for a stick of incense to burn passed. The four of them circled around the heavenly sun mountain, and finally, under Yuling's guidance, they slowly landed on the mountainside of the heavenly sun mountain. After moving forward for a distance, Longchen saw many man-made wooden houses erected on the heavenly sun mountain. The surrounding Hongmeng spirit chi was faintly fluctuating, and it seemed that there was some kind of array. Chapter 1888. When the moon spirit and crescent moon landed on the heavenly sun mountain, the two of them immediately cheered and walked quickly towards the wooden houses in the distance. They did not feel the slightest bit of homesickness like Ali. Perhaps it was because Ali had left this place for too long. It was not surprising that she was worried. Thousands of years had passed, but to Ali, it had only been a few decades. Presumably, Ali's former friends were all gone. A hometown without friends and relatives, how could it be the hometown in her memories? Looking at the surrounding scenery of towering ancient trees, the entire yang side of the heavenly sun mountain was surrounded by numerous spirit trees. Coupled with the chirping of birds, it was indeed more humane than the wilderness from before. Longchen looked at the unhappy Ali and slowly approached her. Ali, why is the place where your Dragon Fox clan lives in the Longmeng polar region called the Heavenly Sun Mountain? When we were in the Star Pool world, Zishu Tianyang's mountain was also called the Heavenly Sun Mountain. Longchen did not deliberately mention Ali's homesickness. Instead, he used other questions to distract her. Ali smiled faintly and said, "This is indeed a coincidence. After I entered the Star Pool world and found out about the Heavenly Sun Mountain, I couldn't wait to beat Zishu Tianyang to death. Later on, when the matter was clarified, I didn't care much about it. Instead, there was a place called the Heavenly Sun Mountain in the Star Pool world that was somewhat warm. Moreover, Zishu Tianyang wasn't that annoying, so I stayed there." Longchen nodded. "The next time I see Zishu Tianyang, I can tell him what the real Heavenly Sun Mountain looks like. Let him think about it and regret not coming with us." Ali looked at the familiar yet unfamiliar scenery around her and could not help but feel happy. "Longchen, thank you," Ali said softly. "Thank me for what?" Longchen was stunned. Ali immediately turned her head and said, "Guess it yourself." As she spoke, Ali's footsteps became much faster. It was obvious that after Longchen's interruption, Ali's worries had lessened by quite a bit. Either he had changed, or his hometown had changed, or both of them had changed. Under the guidance of Yuling and Yuya, the four of them quickly arrived at the gathering place of the wooden houses, which was also the gathering place of the Dragon Fox clan. Although the Dragon Fox clan built many wooden houses on the mountainside, many of the Dragon Foxes didn't live in the wooden houses. Among the Dragon Fox clan, many Dragon Foxes chose to transform into human form. However, in terms of clothing, food, housing, and transportation, they had a huge habit and maintained their original Dragon Fox appearance. As the four of them walked among the wooden houses, from time to time, a few snow-white Dragon Foxes would spy on them from the side. Some would react in a threatening manner, while others would quickly run away. Perhaps Yuling was afraid that Longchen would not understand, so she hurriedly said, "Brother Longchen, our Dragon Fox clan has been bullied too many times. Many people in the clan hate outsiders. Don't worry about it for now. When we see the clan leader and tell her everything, she will definitely thank you." Longchen smiled and nodded. He could clearly sense that these Dragon Foxes that suddenly appeared did not have any ill intentions. "In front of us is the place where the Patriarch lives. The Patriarch loves me and my sister the most. I'm sure she'll be very happy to see us back this time." Yuling smiled as she spoke. Her eyes gradually narrowed into crescents, and her rosy cheeks made people want to pinch them. Fortunately, Longchen did not see the scene. After knowing the location of the clan leader of the Dragon Fox clan, Longchen gradually sped up. Perhaps the clan leader of the Dragon Fox clan would know some secrets that these ordinary Dragon Foxes did not know. Whether it was about Long Yuan or Long Mu, Longchen wanted to find out. Soon, Longchen saw that in front of a wooden house, a slightly stooped old lady was standing in front of the door. She looked at Longchen with a smile on her face. Yu Ling and Yuya quickly ran over and shouted, "Clan leader Grandma." Longchen immediately understood that this stooped old lady was the clan leader of the Dragon Fox clan. From the looks of it, this patriarch should be very old. Naturally, his strength should not be low. The clan leader quickly hugged Yu Ling and Yuya in her arms and said with a face full of excitement, "How did you come back? Did the Dragon Wolf clan release you?" The clan leader hugged Yuya and Yu Ling together in her arms. Her actions were full of care. The three hugged for a long time before Yu Ling and Yuya left the clan leader's arms. Yu Ling looked back at Ali and Longchen and quickly said to the clan leader, "Clan leader Grandma, it was Sister Ali and Brother Longchen who saved me and my sister. Ali is also a member of the Dragon Fox clan. She left our Longmeng polar region a long time ago and only came back recently. Brother Longchen is Sister Ali's friend. This time, it was all thanks to Brother Longchen that we were able to defeat those dragon wolves." Hearing Yu Ling's words, the clan leader quickly looked at Ali and Longchen. After a while, the clan leader murmured, "Ali?" Ali looked at the clan leader for a long time. After the clan leader called out her name, Ali's expression changed greatly, as if a long dusty memory had surged up. Ali slowly walked to the clan leader and said slowly, "Ching?" As soon as he said that, the Dragon Fox patriarch quickly left Yu Ling and Yuya and rushed to Ali's side. He said in shock, "Ali, it really is you." Ali's eyes immediately flashed with some light. She supported the old woman who was walking towards her and said, "Ching, it's really me." The clan leader, who was called Ching by Ali, suddenly shed 2 lines of hot tears after hearing Ali's response. The two of them hugged each other and burst into tears. Longchen didn't react at all. Could it be that the two knew each other? Ali has been in the Star Pool world for 20 years, which is equivalent to more than 7,000 years in the Longmeng polar region. The lifespan of the Dragon Fox clan is so long? It wasn't until more and more Dragon Clan members arrived that Ali and the clan leader separated. The clan leader looked at Ali, who still looked like a young girl, and said with a look of horror, "What have you experienced all these years? Why do you still look the same as before you left?" Ali said, "These things are too complicated. Wait until we settle down first, then I'll tell you the whole story." The clan leader nodded. Soon, almost all the Dragon Clan members arrived. When they saw Yu Ling and Yuya come back safe and sound, everyone had a smile on their faces. Chapter 1889. Longchen sat in the living room of the Dragon Fox clan, quietly watching Ali and the patriarch of the Dragon Fox clan talking about what had happened over the years. Listening to the patriarch of the Dragon Fox clan talking about her own story, Longchen also understood why the patriarch of the Dragon Fox clan could live for more than 7,000 years. It turned out that when the patriarch of the Dragon Fox clan was close to the end of her life, which was more than 1,000 years old, she was seriously injured in a place called the Ice Valley. Her body was frozen and fell into the valley. A few decades ago, the Ice Valley was broken by outsiders, and the patriarch of the Dragon Fox clan successfully woke up. Although it sounded a little unbelievable, the patriarch of the Dragon Fox clan's experience was not as complicated as Ali's. When Ali told the difference between the flow of time in the Star Pool world and the polar region of Hongmeng to the Dragon Fox clan present, almost everyone was shocked. Longchen also understood. After all, if one really did not experience this kind of thing, it was not easy to understand this kind of thing just by listening to a person's story. When Ali finished talking about her own story, the patriarch of the Dragon Fox clan also understood Longchen. The patriarch of the Dragon Fox clan held Ali's small hand and looked at Longchen, who was sitting at the side. "Longchen, benefactor, you first saved Ali, and now you saved Yu Ling and Yuya. If it were not for the fact that the Dragon Fox clan is now in a difficult situation, we would definitely thank you." Longchen quickly shook his head and said, "Patriarch, what are you talking about? Ali and I are friends. If the patriarch does not mind, I can also be a friend of the Dragon Fox clan. If we are friends, I will help if I can, there is no need to thank me." When the patriarch of the Dragon Fox clan heard this, he could not help but feel a little warm. the other Dragon Fox clan members also cast a grateful look at Long Chen. According to what Ali said just now, Benefactor Long Chen came to the Longmeng Polar region to find someone? The Dragon Fox Patriarch said slowly. Long Chen nodded and said, yes, I entered the Star Pool world for 5 days. When I came out, 5 years had already passed. There are no traces of my friends and disciples in the Hongmeng Polar region. Thinking of our previous agreement, I think they should have come to the Longmeng Polar region. But I'm not familiar with the Longmeng Polar region, so I want to ask you, the indigenous people of the Longmeng Polar region, if you have any clues? The Patriarch of the Dragon Fox clan said slowly, in the past few decades, more and more humans have come to our Longmeng Polar region from the Hongmeng Polar region. Although the Longmeng Polar region is vast and boundless, a large part of the Hongmeng spirit chi is thin and is not suitable for cultivation. Therefore, other than the humans who came here mingling in the zone of desolation, most of the humans who came here joined the Great Desolation Castle. Hearing the Patriarch of the Dragon Fox clan talking about the Great Desolation Castle, Long Chen's curiosity was aroused again. Thinking of the ambiguous explanation given by Moon Spirit, Long Chen was still a little confused. Who built the Great Desolation Castle? What kind of forces did it have? I don't know if the Patriarch is clear about the structure of the Great Desolation Castle. If there are a large number of humans, maybe my friends and companions are there. Long Chen asked sincerely. As soon as he finished speaking, Long Chen was surprised to see that after he finished speaking, the surrounding Dragon Fox clan members immediately cast angry gazes at him. Long Chen was a little confused and could only quietly look at the Patriarch of the Dragon Fox clan. The Patriarch of the Dragon Fox clan sighed and said, it's like this. The Great Desolation Castle is a force formed by some people from the Zone of Desolation. In the Zone of Desolation, there are all kinds of races. They gather together and do some business in the Panmeng and Hongmeng Polar regions, which are adjacent to the Longmeng Polar region. However, since there are all kinds of races in the Zone of Desolation, conflicts are inevitable. There are life and death battles almost every day. As more and more people come to the Zone of Desolation, there are fewer and fewer resources to be divided. Therefore, many people from Nine Nether have their eyes on the place where the demon clan of the dragon descendants live. You know, in the past, the Zone of Desolation bullied the ordinary demon clans and maintained great respect for the demon clan of the dragon descendants. However, as the strength of the people from the Zone of Desolation increased, there was nothing that could restrain them. Soon, the Great Desolation Castle was formed. Some people from the Zone of Desolation started to build forces here. On the surface, they said that it was for a place with abundant spiritual power. In fact, they secretly hunted the demon clan of the dragon descendants to obtain the demon crystals of the dragon descendants. You know, the demon crystals of the dragon descendants are dozens of times more precious than those of ordinary demon clans. As the Patriarch of the Dragon Fox clan spoke, his expression gradually became angry. But now, under the bullying of the Dragon Wolf clan, our Dragon Fox clan can barely protect ourselves. How could we dare to provoke the Great Desolation Castle, which is stronger than the Dragon Wolf clan? Even if the people from the Great Desolation Castle secretly attacked and killed many of our clansmen, we could only swallow our anger. After the Patriarch of the Dragon Fox clan finished speaking, his expression was slightly desolate. Long Chen nodded and said, I heard Ali mention before that the leaders of the demon clan of the dragon descendants are the 4 major demon clans. Do they really not care about the Great Desolation Castle? The Patriarch of the Dragon Fox clan replied, the Dragon Python clan is in their clan's dormant ritual. I don't think they will do anything big in the next few decades. The people of Demon Phoenix are detached from the world and are too lazy to care about these things. The Dragon Elephant clan is too far away. It will take them about 10 days to get here. Naturally, they are too far away. As for the Dragon Lion clan, probably because there is a Hongmeng Tianjing expert from the Dragon Lion clan in the Great Desolation Castle, the Dragon Lion clan did not make any response. Hearing this, Long Chen immediately felt that demonic beasts and humans were so similar. For the sake of benefits, they would do anything. Does the Great Desolation Castle bully your Dragon Fox clan very badly? What kind of people are in the Great Desolation Castle? Longchen asked. The patriarch of the Dragon Fox clan said, after all, the Great Desolation Castle is dominated by humans. Even if they have bad intentions, they will not do it openly. Our Dragon Fox clan lives in the Heavenly Sun Mountain, so they have to pay attention to the reaction of the Dragon Python clan. Therefore, in general, the Great Desolation Castle is not hostile to our Dragon Fox clan. As for the people in the Great Desolation Castle, I only know that there is a Fort Lord, 2 Vice Fort Lords, and 4 generals. As for the strength and background of these people, I have no idea. I can't be sure whether your friend is in the Great Desolation Castle. Chapter 1890. Lord 13. Hearing this, Longchen sighed, thinking that it was really not easy to find a person in the Longmeng Polar region. Benefactor Longchen, you don't have to worry. Our Dragon Fox clan did not pay much attention to the matters of the Great Desolation Castle. If Benefactor Longchen wants to know more, I will send someone to investigate tomorrow, the Patriarch said slowly. Longchen nodded. Thank you, Patriarch. The Patriarch of the Dragon race smiled and said, with Benefactor Longchen's ability, your friend isn't a simple character. Since he came to the Longmeng Polar region, he must have some reputation. This kind of information is very convenient. Hearing this, Ali could not help but sneer. She probably remembered that Longchen had boasted to her before. But now that she thought about it, Longchen's seemingly irrelevant words were not boastful. At the very least, he had won against Lang Yen. Benefactor Longchen, please stay in the Dragon Fox clan for the next few days. If there is no news, it won't be too late for Benefactor Longchen to leave. The Patriarch of the Dragon Fox clan said sincerely. Longchen did not refuse and immediately went out with a Dragon Fox who took the initiative to arrange a place for him to stay. The rest were Ali and the Patriarch of the Dragon Fox clan. The 2 sisters had not seen each other for a long time and must have a lot to talk about. It wasn't easy for Longchen to rest for a night. In the night of the Longmeng Polar region, the Heavenly Sun Mountain where the Dragon Fox clan was located was very pure. In stark contrast, the Great Desolation Castle was more than 10 miles away from the Heavenly Sun Mountain. In the Great Desolation Castle, it could be said that the good and the bad were mixed together. Humans and all kinds of demon clans lived together and there was little friction between them. If the large tribes in the Hongmeng Polar region knew about this, they would not believe it. In the Great Desolation Fort, the strength of the fort master was said to be close to that of the Hongmeng Dao ancestor. The 2 vice fort masters also had their own means. Below them, there were 4 generals who were supported by the Great Desolation Fort. They carried out various tasks for the Great Desolation Fort. To put it bluntly, these missions were some underground transactions that couldn't be taken out in Longmeng Polar region or Hongmeng Polar region. If the trade between the Dragon Wolf clan and the Tianfeng tribe was dirty, then the trade between the Great Desolation Castle and the polar region of Hongmeng could only be described as even dirtier. However, not all of the people in the Great Desolation Castle were willing to do such a thing. Many practitioners who had come to the Longmeng Polar region from Hongmeng were worried about whether they could safely bring the treasures out after obtaining them. After all, before leaving the Longmeng Polar region, they had to go through the Zone of Desolation, which was even more chaotic than the Great Desolation Castle. Therefore, the existence of the Great Desolation Castle solved this problem. In the future, when the treasures were handed over to the Great Desolation Castle, they could safely transport themselves and their treasures back to their hometowns. This situation was because there was a space formation in the Great Desolation Castle that connected all the polar regions. Repairing the space formation here required a large amount of Hongmeng spiritual power to maintain. Naturally, this Hongmeng spiritual power was not enough to be obtained from heaven and earth. If it was supported by the demonic beast's demonic crystal, it would be more than enough. Therefore, the demonic beast's demonic crystal was the most important spiritual treasure in the Great Desolation Castle. However, this was the Longmeng Polar region, which was governed by the demonic beasts. The the strength of the demonic beasts of dragon descent was far beyond that of some large tribes in the Hongmeng polar region. There were many Hongmeng Tianjing experts among the demonic beasts of dragon descent. If they killed the demonic beasts here too obviously, it would inevitably cause unnecessary trouble. Therefore, the Lord of the Great Desolation Castle came up with a plan, which was to deliberately provoke a battle between the two demonic beasts. Then, when the two demonic beasts were fighting, the Great Desolation Castle would go and pick up the scraps. In this way, the four demonic beasts would not be able to control themselves. The Lord of the Great Desolation Castle was not ordinary to have such an idea. The four great generals of the Great Desolation Castle were the prime candidates to carry out this plan. Under the night sky, there was a determined and bright figure in the back mountain of the Great Desolation Castle. This person held a long sword in his hand and exuded an air of arrogance between his eyebrows. Obviously, this person was from the human clan. This person waved his long sword in the night sky of the Longmeng polar region. His every move caused the Hongmeng polar region to fluctuate slightly. An expert swordsman. Not long after, an ape walked over from the Great Desolation Castle. It was obvious that he was a demonic beast at a glance. This ape walked over to the Great Desolation Castle in a flattering manner. Beside the expert swordsman, he said, "Lord 13, you asked me to keep an eye on the human clan. Yesterday, there was a human clan member who showed his face and did something ostentatious in the Longmeng polar region. I wonder if Lord 13 is interested to hear about it." The expert swordsman called Lord 13 had a cold expression on his face. He said, "Tell me about it." The ape said, "It's like this. Yesterday, Lang Yan of the Dragon Wolf clan, the arrogant and despotic Lang Yan who claimed to have half a foot in the Hongmeng Tianjing domain, was defeated by a human clan member from the Hongmeng Yuan Jie domain. It was said that this human clan member's strength was only at the 5th level of the Hongmeng Yuan Jie domain, but he was very strong and had the bloodline of the Dragon clan. Hearing this, Lord 13 frowned and said, "Do you know the name of this human clan member?" The ape pondered for a moment and said, "According to this little one's inquiries, he seems to be called Long Chen. I can't say for sure. The news is not completely clear yet." As soon as the ape finished speaking, Lord 13's expression suddenly changed. The long sword in his hand buzzed involuntarily. At the same time, the Hongmeng domain aura around Lord 13 rose to the highest point. "Where is he?" Lord 13 asked anxiously. The ape was a little surprised. After thinking for a while, he quickly said, "This. I don't know." "Where did you hear this news?" Lord 13 asked again. The ape was a little scared. He paused and said, "It's that Lang Yan. Because he lost the battle, he felt guilty. It seems that when he returned to the Dragon Wolf clan, he was looked down upon by his clan members. I heard that this is a critical period for him to advance to the Hongmeng Tianjing domain. He was afraid that a heart demon would be planted in him. Therefore, he came to the Great Desolation Castle and found Lang Ming, who he had some friendship with, to seek revenge on Long Chen." "Lang Ming?" Lord 13 frowned and said, "What about Lang Ming?" The ape said, "He seems to have gone to the Heavenly Sun Mountain. As for why, I don't know." Before the ape finished speaking, the expert swordsman called Lord 13 had already disappeared. At this moment, Lord 13 had already jumped up and went straight to the Heavenly Sun Mountain. A smile appeared on Lord 13's face. Chapter 1891. 1,000 years of karma. Long Chen had rested well for the past 7 days, and the tiredness from the journey had been swept away. Long Chen wanted to take advantage of this opportunity to cultivate, but who knew that at this moment, there was a hurried knock on the door. Long Chen was a little puzzled, but he didn't feel anything out of the ordinary. He shouted at the door, "The door isn't locked, just come in." Moon's spirit almost ran over, and her expression was extremely flustered. Long Chen immediately perked up, and hurriedly asked, "What happened?" Moon's spirit's face was slightly gloomy, and she said, "The people of the Dragon Wolf tribe are here." Long Chen immediately understood what was going on. After Lang Yan was defeated by him, coupled with the fact that he had snatched back Yu Lang and Yuya, who originally belonged to them, he had ruined the deal that the Dragon Wolf tribe and the Heavenly Wind tribe had been planning for a long time. It would be strange if the Dragon Wolf tribe let him go. Where did they go? How did your patriarch deal with them? Longchen hurriedly made preparations. Moon Spirit said, "They have already gathered in front of the wooden house where we discussed matters last night. This time, the Dragon Wolf tribe came with great ferocity, and our Dragon Fox tribe is no match for them. The tribe leader asked me and my sister to find you, and at the same time, asked Sister Ali to hide." Long Chen's face was solemn, and he said, "Hiding is not a solution. The matter of the Dragon Wolf tribe must be thoroughly understood. Otherwise, you can't hide. You won't be able to hide forever." After saying this, Longchen took a step forward and was about to leave. Moon Spirit immediately pulled Longchen back, and said anxiously, "Brother Longchen, there is one more thing I forgot to tell you. This time, there is a person called Lang Ming from the Dragon Wolf tribe. This person is an expert from Hongmeng Tianjing, and he is usually a general in the Great Desolation Castle. This time, he actually rushed over with Lang Yan. He is a genuine expert from Hongmeng Tianjing, and Sister Ali asked you to escape with me and my sister." Lang Ming? When Longchen heard the words Hongmeng Tianjing, it was indeed difficult for him to continue. With Longchen's current strength at the 5th level of Hongmeng Yuanjie, the most he could do was to remain invincible in the Hongmeng Yuanjie. However, if he really encountered the Hongmeng Tianjing, Longchen really did not have the confidence to win. However, with Longchen's temperament, he definitely couldn't stand by and watch. Even if he knew that he didn't have the confidence to win, he still had to try. After all, Ali was still there. Let's not talk about this for now. If Lang Ming is really Hongmeng Tianjing, the entire Dragon Fox clan is finished. Who knows, even if you and your sister run away, the rest of the clan members will be captured by the Dragon Wolf clan to complete that dirty deal. Longchen said angrily. After saying that, Longchen walked out of the house and said to Moon Spirit, "You and your sister hide here. If the Dragon Wolf clan sends out the Hongmeng Tianjing experts, you won't be able to escape no matter how far you run." After saying that, Longchen leaped up and went straight to the wooden house. After walking for a short distance, Longchen saw dozens of burly men surrounding the Dragon Fox clan. Up! Lang Yan was among them, and beside him was a dragon wolf with a serious expression. Presumably, this was the Lang Ming that Moon Spirit mentioned. Dragon Fox clan leader. Don't play dumb with me. Quickly hand over the 2 little girls from your clan. At the same time, explain the whereabouts of that guy called Longchen. If he's at the Heavenly Sun Mountain right now, that would be even better. Long Lang relied on his 90% Hongmeng Tianjing strength to speak to the Dragon Fox clan in an arrogant and despotic manner. The patriarch of the Dragon Fox clan put on a respectful face towards Lang Yan and Lang Ming and slowly said, "Lord Dragon Wolf, our clans Yu Ling and Yuya have already been sacrificed to your Dragon Wolf clan half a month ago. This is also to maintain the friendship between our 2 clans. Why do you want these 2 people from me now?" When Lang Yan heard this, he immediately put on an impatient expression and said sternly, "Old woman, I've given you face, haven't I? Do you really think that the people of our Dragon Wolf clan are blind? Last night, someone clearly saw that guy called Longchen brought the 3 young ladies of your Dragon Fox clan back here. So stop playing dumb with me and hurry up and teach them. Otherwise, your Dragon Fox clan will be finished." At this moment, Ali, who had been standing behind the Dragon Fox clan leader, seemed to be quite angry. She ignored the Dragon Fox clan leader's attempt to stop her, stood up, and shouted at Lang Yan, "Lang Yan, I just defeated you 2 days ago and now you're going back on your words? For the past few thousand years, your Dragon Wolf clan has been bullying our Dragon Fox clan. This is too much. If you continue, I will tell everyone about your Dragon Wolf clan communicating with the Tianfeng tribe in the Hongmeng Polar region." Lang Yan was momentarily at a loss for words. However, when Lang Ming, who had been silent all this while, saw Ali, who had stepped forward, his eyes shone brightly when he saw it. After staring at Ali for a long time, Lang Ming's Hongmeng aura slowly gathered around him. Suddenly, Lang Ming released his Hongmeng aura and said, "It's you, the dragon fox who escaped, the dragon fox who made me homeless." Hearing this, Ali's expression was a little sluggish. She looked at Lang Ming, and a dusty memory was unlocked. 7,000 years ago, the Dragon Wolf clan and the Tianfeng tribe in the Hongmeng Polar region made a deal. The Dragon Wolf clan searched for demon girls in the Longmeng Polar region and offered them as sacrifices to the Tianfeng tribe. In return, the Tianfeng tribe gave them a large amount of cultivation resources. At first, the deal went smoothly, until one year, when the Tianfeng tribe stopped the deal. The panicked Dragon Wolf clan hurriedly went to the Tianfeng tribe to discuss this matter. The result was shocking. It turned out that the cause of the matter was a dragon fox girl sent by the Dragon Wolf clan. Just as the dragon fox girl was about to serve the ancestor of the Tianfeng tribe, the dragon fox girl used a secret technique to sneak attack the ancestor of the Tianfeng tribe when he was least prepared. After that, she escaped without a trace. This matter made the ancestor of the Tianfeng tribe very angry. After searching for the dragon fox girl several times and not finding her, the ancestor of the Tianfeng tribe decided not to make such a deal again. Long Lang, who had gone to the Heavenly Wind tribe, knew about the cause and effect of the incident. When he returned to the Long Lang tribe and explained the cause of the incident, the Long Lang tribe pointed the finger at Long Lang, who had chosen the dragon fox girl. Because of this, the Dragon Wolf was driven out of the clan. Lang Ming was the Dragon Wolf who was driven out of the clan. Ali was the dragon fox girl who had once seriously injured the ancestor of the Tianfeng tribe. Chapter 1892. Extremely flustered. Later, in order to continue this shady deal with the Tianfeng tribe, the Dragon Wolf clan became even more subservient. Fortunately, the ancestor of the Tianfeng tribe was not a law-abiding person at all. After a few decades, this deal began again. And Lang Ming, who was driven out of the Dragon Wolf clan, became the victim of this conflict on a certain level. After being driven out of the Dragon Wolf clan, Lang Ming went to the most chaotic region of desolation in the Longmeng Polar region. There, he fought for years, and almost every time he was pulled back from the brink of death. Finally, after thousands of years, Lang Ming advanced to the Hongmeng Tianjing and gained the appreciation of some people. From then on, he became one of the 4 great generals of the Great Desolation Castle. But Lang Ming's anger towards that matter had never disappeared. Lang Ming remembered everything about that dragon fox girl, her appearance, her name. Lang Ming engraved it all in his heart, just so that the next time he saw her, he could take revenge openly. If Lang Ming's thoughts were known by Ali, Ali would only hate Lang Ming even more. Lang Ming had a deep grudge against Ali, and so did Ali. Originally, Ali could have lived a peaceful life in the Dragon Fox clan, but now it had become like this. How could Ali not want to find the Dragon Wolf clan for revenge? Since Lang Ming was the Dragon Wolf who kidnapped her to the Hongmeng Polar region thousands of years ago, Ali's suppressed resentment in her heart was completely released. As the saying goes, newborn calves are not afraid of tigers. In a sense, the 7,000 years in the Longmeng Polar region or the Hongmeng Polar region was only 20 years for Ali, combined with the age of Ali when she left the Longmeng Polar region, plus the 20 years. In general, Ali's current age in the Dragon Fox clan was only a little older than Yu Ling and Yuya. If it was a human, Ali would have turned from a 15 or 16-year-old girl to a 17 or 18-year-old girl. In addition, Ali's natural talent for cultivation wasn't bad, so she already had the strength of the 3rd level of Hongmeng Yuan Jie. This made her an existence that could intimidate a region in the Longmeng Polar region. So what if it's me? Are you surprised? Even after thousands of years, I still look the same. It's good that you recognized me at a glance. I have to say, do you remember my appearance very clearly? Ali said angrily. Lang Ming suppressed the anger in his heart and was able to control his emotions. He had to admit that Hongmeng Tianjing was indeed very different from Hongmeng Yuan Jie. Lang Yan didn't know what to say for a while. But overall, this was good for him. Lang Yan and Lang Ming were close to each other due to the fact that they both belonged to the Dragon Wolf clan. Their bloodline was naturally close, so Lang Yan and Lang Ming were closer. Lang Yan immediately asked Lang Ming for help. Lang Yan paid a heavy price. After all, Lang Ming had been expelled from the Dragon Wolf clan for many years. He didn't care about the bloodline between dragon wolves and dragon wolves. And now, seeing that Lang Yan still had a grudge with this dragon fox called Ali, he didn't need to do anything. If he fanned the flames from the side, Lang Ming would go all out. At that time, Long Chen, who had defeated him before, would definitely come out to protect him. It would be best if Lang Ming could injure Long Chen severely, and then he would personally kill that arrogant human brat. This way, the demon in his heart would completely disappear. A cultivator, especially someone like Lang Yan who was at the crucial moment of breaking through to Hongmeng Tianjing, couldn't let the demon in his heart get in the way. Otherwise, there would be endless trouble. Lang Ming said sternly, "I heard from Lang Yan that a human helped your Dragon Fox clan the day before yesterday. Although that human's cultivation is only at the 5th layer of Hongmeng Yuanjia, he's strong enough to defeat Lang Yan who's about to break through to Hongmeng Tianjing. I presume this human is the one your Dragon Fox clan is relying on. Hurry up and call him out. I don't want to waste my breath." The patriarch of the Dragon Fox clan and the members of the Dragon Fox clan behind him were furious, but they didn't dare to say anything. Perhaps the Dragon Wolf clan's bullying of the Dragon Fox clan over the past few thousand years had left a mark in the hearts of the Dragon Fox clan. This made the Dragon Foxes fear the Dragon Wolves from the bottom of their hearts. Ali didn't have this kind of fear. Therefore, Ali was still very confident when facing a Hongmeng Tianjing expert like Lang Ming. "What? Don't you want to take revenge on me? Could it be that with your strength, you're still afraid of a sneak attack?" Ali continued to shout. Lang Ming smiled faintly and said, "What I mean is, other than that human, the rest of your Dragon Fox clan is too weak. If I want to, I'm afraid your Heavenly Sun Mountain will be destroyed in an instant." Ali didn't back down in the slightest and retorted, "Try it if you have the ability. Although the Dragon Python clan is currently in a deep slumber, I feel that a major event like the collapse of the Heavenly Sun Mountain can still wake them up. At that time, when the Dragon Meng clan figures out the cause of this matter, you, the culprit, won't be able to escape." Lang Ming's face remained expressionless, as if he hadn't heard Ali's words. Lang Ming didn't continue being entangled with Ali, and then he looked around and said in a clear voice, "Long Chen, come out if you have the ability. Otherwise, not a single member of the Dragon Fox clan will be able to survive today." "Oh my, you've called my name so loudly. If I still don't come out, won't you lose face?" Ali's expression immediately tensed up when a response was heard. Soon, a Hongmeng aura swept out from below the Heavenly Sun Mountain and headed straight for the wooden house. In the blink of an eye, Long Chen was standing beside Ali. "Why haven't you left? Didn't I ask you Lang and you to call you?" Ali became a little flustered. Previously, Ali and Lang Ming were at loggerheads. Even though Ali knew that Ali was Lang Ming's enemy, Ali didn't panic at all. But now, seeing that Long Chen hadn't left, Ali was extremely flustered. Long Chen smiled at Ali and said, "If I leave, will you be able to deal with it?" Ali couldn't help but feel a surge of warmth in her heart. She said slowly, "If we can't handle it, we'll just perish together with those dragon wolves. It's time for our Dragon Fox clan to end things with the Dragon Wolf clan. Ending things is necessary, but not the way you do it. Do you remember what I said before? As long as it's not Hongmeng Tianjing, I can handle it." Long Chen said with a smile. "But Lang Ming is Hongmeng Tianjing," Ali reminded. "Then I can handle it too." Long Chen laughed even more heartily. Chapter 1893. Lang Ming looked at Long Chen, who had suddenly appeared. He slowly released his Hongmeng divine sense, wanting to use his advantage in cultivation to probe Long Chen's true strength. Lang Ming was also curious. How powerful was this person to be able to defeat Lang Yan, who was at the 9th level of the primordial realm, with the strength of a 5th-level primordial realm cultivator. Furthermore, Lang Yan was half a step into the primordial firmament realm. However, something unexpected happened. Before Lang Ming's divine sense could approach Long Chen, a sudden Hong Meng divine sense intercepted Lang Ming's divine sense in midair. Lang Ming retracted his divine sense, looking at Long Chen in a daze. This guy was something. "You're Long Chen?" Lang Ming asked sternly. It was obvious that Lang Ming was wary of Long Chen, who had appeared in the Long Meng polar region. Could it be because Lang Ming had experienced the strength of a human cultivator before? Looking at Lang Ming's deep gaze, then at the resentful Lang Yan, Long Chen smiled and said, "I am." "So what?" Lang Ming could not help but snort coldly when he heard this reply. He said, "Many humans have come to the Long Meng polar region in recent years, but all of them tuck their tails between their legs and behave themselves. It's really rare to see someone act so arrogantly and dare to provoke our Dragonwolf clan." Lang Yan, who was beside Lang Ming, immediately shouted, "Long Chen, I must kill you today." Long Chen chuckled and said, "Why? Are you in such a hurry to kill me? Is it because you're afraid of me? Or is it because of that defeat that left an inner demon in your heart? This must be a great hindrance to your advancement to the Hongmeng Tianjing stage, right? You're courting death." Hearing this, Lang Yan couldn't help but charge forward and fight Long Chen once again. Fortunately, Lang Ming, who was standing beside Lang Yan, grabbed Lang Yan and threw him a few fierce glances. He said, "No matter what, you're someone who's half a step into the Hongmeng firmament realm. I've never seen you act like this before. Why are you ignoring the big picture now? So what if you have an inner demon? You'll have plenty of chances to kill him later. There's no need to be so ruthless now." Lang Yan's emotions calmed down a little. Lang Ming nodded. He looked at Long Chen again and said, "Since you're aware that you've planted an inner demon in Lang Yan's heart, we need to resolve the matter. How about this? I want the Dragon Fox clan to hand over the 2 girls who escaped and you, Long Chen, will fight with Lang Yan again. But this time, you have to be willing to be killed by Lang Yan. If you fulfill these 2 conditions, I won't bother the remaining members of the Dragon Fox clan for 100 years. What do you think?" Long Chen immediately felt that Lang Ming's brain must have been hammered. Willingly be killed in a duel? Only an idiot would agree to that. Long Chen sneered, "Do you think I'm an idiot?" Lang Ming's expression was solemn as he said, "Otherwise? In my eyes, a cultivator at the 5th level of the primordial origin realm is an ant that I can trample to death at will. What a coincidence." Long Chen looked at Lang Yan and said, "Lang Yan also said the same thing to me. He also looked down on my Hong Meng Yuan Jie stage 5 strength. But what was the result? Wasn't it because he lost to me and planted an inner demon that could affect his advancement? If he still couldn't beat me with his strength, then it would be a joke." Lang Ming smiled slightly and said, "I advise you not to be too confident. When you fall at my feet later, you might also be planted with an inner demon when you remember what you said now. Come and try. I really want to experience the strength of Hongmeng Tianjing." Although Long Chen's words were very direct, he still had a lot of fear in his heart. As early as in the small spiritual world, Long Chen had really seen the strength of Hongmeng Tianjing. Wang Tong and the Smiling Tiger were both top masters. Although they were defeated by Long Chen, it was also because of Long Chen's great luck. It had little to do with Long Chen himself. Moreover, Long Chen was now only at Hongmeng Yuan Jie stage 5. To be able to defeat Lang Yan, who was at Hongmeng Yuan Jie stage 9, was already close to his limit. Therefore, Long Chen was still not confident in defeating Lang Ming, who was a genuine Hongmeng Tianjing. But even so, this battle still had to be fought. Otherwise, the Dragon Fox clan might really be destroyed today. Just as Lang Yan was about to make his move, and Long Chen was ready. In the sky above the Heavenly Sun Mountain, a biting cold Hongmeng wind suddenly swept up. Whoosh! It seemed that there was an extremely pure energy gathering here. Vaguely, it seemed that the entire Heavenly Sun Mountain was shaken by this sudden energy. This strange scene that suddenly appeared immediately caused the originally strange atmosphere on Heavenly Sun Mountain to become somewhat hostile. Soon, before the people on the Heavenly Sun Mountain could react to where this energy came from, the pure Hongmeng spiritual energy poured down on the Heavenly Sun Mountain like a torrential downpour. Longchen vaguely felt that this pure Hongmeng spiritual energy seemed to be a type of sword qi. Moreover, it was a very powerful sword qi. Thinking of this, Longchen could not help but think of his lost disciple, Jian Shan. Presumably, Jian Shan would also be able to use such a powerful sword qi. Finally, as the sword qi approached, the people on the Heavenly Sun Mountain could finally see clearly that in the distant sky, there was a long sword that was rushing straight towards the Heavenly Sun Mountain. The powerful sword qi came from this sword. What a good sword! What a powerful sword qi! Longchen sighed. The sword qi rushed past the Heavenly Sun Mountain. The dragon foxes and dragon wolves on the Heavenly Sun Mountain stared at the sharp sword qi with their mouths agape. They wanted to find out where the person controlling the sword qi was. It was also at this moment that Lang Ming, who had always been expressionless, suddenly changed his expression when he sensed the sword qi. What is he doing here? Lang Ming muttered. To the side, Lang Yan frowned and said, You know this person? Lang Ming nodded and said, As far as I know, only our Great Desolation Castle's Mr. 13 can produce such a powerful sword qi. However, he has always stood aloof from worldly affairs and has never interfered in any fights in the Longmeng Polar region. Why would he come here today? Lang Yan was shocked when he heard Lang Ming's words. Just how powerful was this Mr. 13 to be able to make Lang Ming of Hongmeng Tianjing respectfully address him? Just as everyone was exclaiming, a white robe suddenly appeared in front of everyone's eyes. The long sword that emitted a sharp sword qi was immediately grasped in that person's hand. Chapter 1894. Lang Ming's face was solemn as he looked at the man with a long sword. It's really him. Even though Lang Ming had guessed the man's identity, he still couldn't get used to it when he saw it with his own eyes. In recent years, Mr. 13 was one of the few people who could make Lang Ming accept him wholeheartedly. A few years ago, Mr. 13 had conquered everyone in the Great Desolation Fort with his sword alone. Coupled with his stable Hongmeng Tianjing strength, Mr. 13 quickly rose to become the strongest warrior in the Great Desolation Fort. Could it be that he's the legendary human sword immortal who once swept through the Great Desolation Fort? Lang Yan seemed to have thought of something and asked immediately. Lang Ming nodded and said softly, I didn't have much interaction with him in the Great Desolation Fort. He must be here for something since he suddenly appeared today. Remember to wait and see. We can't afford to offend Mr. 13. Lang Yan immediately withdrew his Hongmeng aura after hearing Lang Ming's words. Lang Ming hurriedly walked forward and shouted at Mr. 13, Mr. 13, may I know why you are here today? Mr. 13's sword-like eyebrows were incomparably sharp, and the long sword in his hand buzzed. He glanced at Lang Ming, who had come over, and slowly said, You're Lang Ming? Yes. Lang Ming nodded. Mr. 13 smiled at him and said, I'm here to look for an old friend. I don't think I'm bothering you, right? Lang Ming was stunned and murmured, I wonder who Mr. 13 is looking for. I'm here for the Dragon Fox clan. Could it be that Mr. 13's old friend is from the Dragon Fox clan? Mr. 13 quickly shook his head and said, No, no. My old friend is just like me. We're both humans. Lang Ming's face turned ashen when he heard that. There were many monsters in the Longmeng Polar region and few humans. Even though more and more humans had come to the Longmeng Polar region in recent years, most of them were still making a living in the Zone of Desolation. This was the territory ruled by the Dragonkin demons. Other than the Great Desolation Fortress, there were almost no humans. And today, there was a human here. Longchen. Lang Ming began to pray in his heart. He only hoped that the person Mr. 13 was looking for was not Long Che. When the Dragon Fox clan saw that the sword immortal who suddenly appeared was actually friends with Lang Ming of the Dragon Wolf clan, they all began to panic. Looking at Lang Ming's attitude towards the swordsman, the members of the Dragon Fox clan felt that this swordsman's strength was higher than Lang Ming's. In other words, there were now two Hongmeng Tianjing experts. How could the Dragon Fox clan deal with this? Longchen didn't think so, because he saw a familiar shadow on that swordsman. Longchen didn't think so. In the small spirit world, because of Mu Wenhua of the Sunkenwood tribe, Longchen, who had just reunited with Jianshi San, was forced to lose contact with Jianshi San again. Moreover, even after the small spiritual world was closed, Longchen did not find any news about Jianshi San. There was a time when Longchen thought that Jianshi San had met with an accident in the small spiritual world. But now, when he saw this familiar figure, Longchen's eyes couldn't help but flash with some cold light. With a pair of sharp eyebrows and a sharp sword chi flowing all over his body, Longchen was 100% sure that this was Jianshi San. Mr. 13 was Jianshi San. Jianshi San finished talking to Lang Ming and turned to look at Longchen. Suddenly, Jianshi San froze in place. Jianshi San and Longchen looked at each other for a long time. For Longchen, they might have only been separated for half a year, but for Jianshi San, 5 years had passed. Moreover, 5 years ago, before Jianshi San and Longchen reunited in the small spiritual world, the master and disciple had been separated for 400 years. Now, there was no one like Mu Wenhua who was a hindrance. The long sword in Jianshi San's hand buzzed, and the Hongmeng spiritual qi around him fluctuated. The sword was extremely sharp, and the Hongmeng spiritual qi surrounded it for a long time without dissipating. There was almost no Hongmeng spiritual qi around Jianshi San. All the Hongmeng spiritual qi was transformed into sword qi by Jianshi San. Jianshi San's entire being had already become a sword embryo. The scene that everyone in the Dragon Fox clan was worried about didn't happen. Instead, what really happened shocked everyone. Jianshi San slowly walked towards Longchen, and the long sword in his hand had disappeared without a trace. Jianshi San walked to Longchen with a dignified expression. Plop! Jianshi San knelt down. Master! Sword 13's pure and heavy shout caused everyone to be dumbstruck. The thing that Lang Ming did not want to see the most had happened, and he could not help but frown. Lang Yan did not even fully understand the situation, but looking at the scene in front of him, he still felt that something was wrong. Longchen looked at Jianshi San, who was kneeling in front of him, and could not help but sigh. Fate made fools of people. Get up! Longchen quickly helped Jianshi San up. Under the shocked gazes of the surrounding Dragon Fox and Dragon Wolf, Longchen smiled at Jianshi San and said, I didn't expect to actually find you. This trip to the Longmeng polar region was not in vain. After Longchen and Jianshi San were reunited, the hostile atmosphere on the heavenly Sun Mountain slowly dissipated. Lang Ming and Lang Yan did not dare to be aggressive for a while, probably because of Jianshi San's prestige. No matter how much Lang Ming did not believe it, when Jianshi San called him master, Lang Ming had no choice but to submit to reality. Even if Longchen was only at the 5th level of the Hongmeng primordial realm, and Jianshi San was a genuine Hongmeng vast heaven realm cultivator, he had already called him master. Even if he didn't believe it, what could he do? When Longchen and Jianshi San hugged each other, the Dragon Tribe clansmen, who were originally in despair, could not help but feel happy. This person was also acquainted with Longchen. That is to say, this swordsman will help our Dragon Fox tribe? The Dragon Fox clan was overjoyed to have the help of a Hongho of the Hongho realm, who was more powerful than Lang Ming, to buy the Hongho of the Hongho clan. Ali was closer to Longchen, so she naturally heard the conversation between Longchen and Jianshi San clearly. Was this person the disciple that Longchen had been searching for a long time? It turned out that he had the strength of a Hongmeng Tianjing expert. No wonder before this, Longchen had always said that even if a Hongmeng Tianjing expert came, as long as he could find his friend and disciple, it would not be a problem. Just his disciple had the strength of a Hongmeng Tianjing expert. Then would Longchen's friend be a Hongmeng Dao ancestor? Chapter 1895. In front of the wooden house of the Dragon Fox clan, a strange atmosphere spread out. Longchen took a good look at Jianshi San. Apart from the Hongmeng's spiritual energy around Jianshi San that had been completely converted into sword qi, Longchen also noticed that Jianshi San's cultivation was actually at the 4th level of the Hongmeng Tianjing. The Hongmeng's spiritual energy in your body has been completely converted into sword qi. You must have put in a lot of effort these past few years. Longchen said with a gratified tone. Longchen had always been at ease with his disciple, Jianshi San. Unlike Xu Xin or Long Yuan, Longchen still had to participate in certain important matters. Otherwise, it would be easy for them to mess things up. Just like Xu Xin, who had already joined Lin Mingji's Dao God Pagoda. Longchen was very clear that if Longchen was by Xu Xin's side at that time, even if there were tens of millions of benefits in the Dao God Pagoda, Xu Xin would not have done such a thing. Therefore, Longchen had been thinking about Long Yuan all this time, and had neglected Jianshi San's existence. However, Longchen was also extremely at ease with Jianshi San. Jianshi San and himself came from the same origin. In essence, they did not belong to the 9 extremes. Moreover, Jianshi San had a clear heart of the sword, and was determined to cultivate the way of the sword for his entire life. Such a Jianshi San would not make mistakes in the face of major issues. Presently, Sword 13's entire body had already cultivated to the level of Sword Embryo in the path of the Sword Tao, and his strength and cultivation were obvious. Let's talk about these things when we get back. Master, why are you here now? What's going on with the Dragon Fox clan? Jianshi San asked worriedly. Longchen shook his head and said, it's a long story. To put it bluntly, the members of the Dragon Fox clan are my friends. Since Lang Ming wanted to attack the Dragon Fox clan, I naturally had to step forward. Hearing this, Jianshi San nodded and said, it's fine. Since Shizuan's strength is still that of the Hongmeng Yuan Jia, then leave this matter to me. Although Longchen was a little embarrassed to be mentioned by Jianshi San, he didn't really care. After all, Longchen knew very well that Jianshi San's feelings for his master would never decrease because of the level of cultivation or the passage of time. If you can handle it, then I'll leave it to you. Longchen said in a clear voice. Longchen was extremely relieved. With Jianshi San, a powerful Hongmeng Tianjing expert overseeing the situation, today's matter might be very simple. With Longchen's words, Jianshi San nodded and then slowly turned around. The moment Jianshi San turned around, the sharp sword aura around him suddenly appeared and directly enveloped Lang Ming and the others. At the same time, a long sword also appeared in Jianshi San's hand. The sword aura around Jianshi San's body pointed directly at Lang Ming. Lang Ming was already a little afraid of Jianshi San. Now that things had reached this point, Lang Ming was even more flustered. Mr. 13, I really didn't expect that you and Longchen are actually master and disciple. Lang Ming said in a trembling voice. Now that you know, what are you going to do about today's matter? Jianshi San said coldly. This. For a moment, Lang Ming became a little hesitant. He turned around and looked at Lang Yen, struggling in his heart. In that case, I, Lang Ming, will not do anything to Longchen. As for the Dragon Fox clan, just hand them over. Lang Ming said slowly. Jianshi San frowned and said, must we take them? Before Lang Ming could reply, Lang Yen, who was beside Lang Ming, seemed to be unable to suppress himself. He took 2 steps forward and said sternly, don't be so overbearing. Lang Ming may be afraid of you, but I am not. Today's matter will not end so casually. Longchen's life and the 2 girls of the Dragon Fox clan must be handed over. So what if you are strong? There are many more people in the Great Desolation Fort who are stronger than you. Lang Yen naturally had his own considerations when he replied in such a way. Now, because of the battle with Longchen, Lang Yan's heart demon had been planted in his heart. This was undoubtedly a destructive blow to Lang Yan, who was about to advance to the Hongmeng Tianjing. If he did not kill Longchen, his strength would only regress in this lifetime and there would be no possibility of him advancing again. Therefore, even in the face of Jianshi San's strength, Lang Yan was still unwilling to show any mercy. "Do you want to die?" Lang Ming roared when he heard Lang Yan's barking. Lang Yan also turned hostile towards Lang Ming and said sternly, "Lang Ming, you are a Hong Meng Tianjing expert and have been in the Long Meng polar region for so many years. You are also one of the top experts in the Great Desolation Fort. Now, a human swordsman has completely destroyed your spirit? You clearly know that Longchen has become my heart demon. If I don't kill him, I will never have the chance to advance in this lifetime. You still agreed to fight with him. Don't tell me you don't recognize me as your son?" As soon as he finished speaking, Longchen looked like he was struck by lightning. Lang Yan was Lang Ming's son? Lang Ming was also shocked. He muttered, "How did you know?" Lang Yan waved his hand and said, "Ever since you were expelled from the Dragonwolf clan and made a name for yourself in the Zone of Desolation, you've been cold to everyone in the clan who came to ask you for help. You've only treated me, an orphan of the Dragonwolf clan, with the exception of me, an orphan of the Dragonwolf clan. Over the past few hundred years, you've taught me cultivation methods and given me countless cultivation resources." Lang Ming was even more exasperated. He said, "Since you know this, then you have to listen to your old man. Whatever I tell you to do, you have to do it obediently. The heart demon has been planted. You will be a Hong Meng Yuan Jia for the rest of your life. That is enough for you to command the world. Don't think about anything else." Lang Yan ignored Lang Ming's advice. He hurriedly took a few steps forward and shouted at Longchen, "Longchen, we must settle this today." Who would have thought that before Lang Yan could fully condense the Hong Meng aura around him, a long sword would fly over and pierce Lang Yan's body in an instant? Almost unbeknownst to everyone present, the long sword would pierce Lang Yan's body. "Stubborn fool," Jian Shirshan said in a low voice. When Lang Ming saw this, he hurriedly begged Jian Shirshan, "Mr. 13, my son has not changed. When we return, I will teach him well. I hope that Mr. 13 will spare my son's life on account of the fact that we have worked together for the Great Desolation Castle. I promise that we will not take revenge on Mr. Longchen of the Dragon Fox clan." Jian Shirshan's expression was calm. The long sword had pierced through Lang Yan's body, but not a single drop of blood flowed out. Lang Yan's entire body was weak, and his face gradually turned pale. Chapter 1896. It was the Peerless Dragon Emperor. Although Jian Shirshan's cultivation was at the 5th level of Hong Meng Tianjing, his entire body had been molded into a sword embryo. Even the Hong Meng spiritual energy of an ordinary cultivator was condensed into innate sword energy by Jian Shirshan's breathing. Therefore, Jian Shirshan's sword and Jian Shirshan's true strength far exceeded Jian Shirshan's cultivation. Lang Ming, who had stayed with Jian Shirshan in the Great Desolation Castle, naturally knew this. So, that was why he would speak to Sword 13 in such a servile manner. However, even though he knew this, his son, Lang Yan, did not. In order to get rid of the inner demon that was preventing him from reaching the Hong Meng Tianjing, Lang Yan felt that he had to give it his all and give it a try. Jian Shirshan's attack was a disaster for someone like Lang Yan who had yet to reach the Hong Meng Tianjing level. The sword had already become Jian Shirshan's sword of life. Jian Shirshan's sword of life had pierced through Lang Yan's body. At this moment, Jian Shirshan controlled Lang Yan's life. Jian Shirshan looked at the pale-faced Lang Yan, who was mumbling something under his breath. He smiled and said, "Speak louder. Let me hear you clearly." After saying this, Jian Shirshan slightly reduced the sword energy on his sword to lessen the pressure on Lang Yan's back. Lang Yan turned his head with great difficulty and shouted at Lang Ming, "It's better to not have a father like you." As soon as he finished speaking, a powerful Hong Meng aura erupted from Lang Yan's body. Lang Yan, who had been pierced through by Jian Shirshan's sword, once again released a powerful aura. In a short moment, Lang Yan broke free from the sword's restraint and flew into the air. As the sword was pulled out, blood gushed out from Lang Yan's chest. Lang Yan didn't care about it at all. He took advantage of the opportunity to gather his Hong Meng's aura. In just a breath's time, the Hongmeng's aura in the air had gathered into a powerful devouring force. A gust of wind suddenly blew on Heavenly Sun Mountain, causing the sand and stones to tumble. Dragon Wolf Wild Sand. Lang Yan roared. At the same time, Lang Ming, who was on the ground of Heavenly Sun Mountain, took a few steps towards Jian San and muttered, "Mr. 13, let him go. You can have any conditions you want." Unexpectedly, before Lang Ming could pounce to Jian San's side, a piercing sword chi hung in front of Lang Ming, forcefully blocking his footsteps. Jian San leaped into the air and stared at Lang Yan, who was condensing the vast aura of Hongmeng. The long sword in his hand buzzed. Jian San shook his head and said, "Your father has better foresight than you." With that, before he could finish speaking, the long sword in Jian San's hand pierced out. The incomparably sharp longsword shuttled back and forth at an extremely fast speed within the Dragon Wolf Wild Sand that Lang Yan had spent a great deal of effort to condense, as if it was nothing. Before Lang Yan could reveal a shocked expression, Jian San's longsword once again pierced through Lang Yan's body with an unstoppable force. This time, however, the longsword didn't pierce through Lang Yan's chest. Instead, it pierced through Lang Yan's neck. With a plop, Lang Yan's corpse fell to the ground, kicking up a cloud of dust. The Dragon Wolf Wild Sand dissipated on its own and the Heavenly Sun Mountain regained its peaceful appearance. Some members of the Dragon Fox clan didn't even have time to react before this scene played out. Longchen was horrified. Back then, he had expended too much energy to resist Lang Yan's Dragon Wolf Wild Sand. It wasn't until he used the last move of the Heaven and Earth Fire Dragon skill that he succeeded. But now, his disciple, Jian San, only needed one sword strike. Moreover, it looked so simple and casual. This situation made Longchen feel a little unbalanced. It seemed that in the 5 days he spent in the Starpool world, other than getting to know Zishu, Tianyang, and Ali, he had really wasted some time. Lang Ming looked at Lang Yan, who was covered in blood, and was moved. Jian San landed and looked at Longchen. He slowly said, "Master, I don't know why, but after I advanced to Hongmeng Tianjing, I found it hard to suppress the sword energy in my body. Today's situation isn't the first time." How could Longchen know about Jian San's troubles? After all, Jian San was a Hongmeng Tianjing cultivator. Although he knew that Jian San wasn't mocking him, Longchen still couldn't answer. "We'll talk about this later. It seems that Lang Ming isn't easy to deal with," Longchen slowly said. "I'll pay attention," Jian San said sternly. Lang Ming poured Hongmeng energy into Lang Yan's corpse several times, but it didn't work. Lang Ming stood up and said to Jian San with a face full of indignation, "Jian San, I've already given you a way out. Why do you have to go against my son? With your Hongmeng Tianjing strength, you really have the guts to deal with someone from Hongmeng Yuanjie." Jian San didn't have much of a reaction when he heard this. He said, "Originally, I didn't want to kill him. As you said, it's best for everyone to live in peace. However, you saw what happened just now. It was your son who wanted to attack, so I had to fight back. Moreover, you said that you used your strength to suppress others. Then, before I came, what did you do to the Dragon Fox clan? Relying on your Hongmeng Tianjing strength, you wantonly bullied and humiliated others. Don't you think you've done too many unreasonable things? If you want to avenge your son, then follow the rules of the Great Desolation Castle. Why didn't you dare to make a sound when I attacked just now?" Jian San said, his expression still indifferent. "It's because you know that regardless of whether you attacked at that time, you couldn't stop me from doing what I wanted to do. Moreover, as far as I know, you're at a critical moment in your breakthrough. Presumably, you'll be able to reach the 5th level of Hongmeng Tianjing in the future. If you don't agree, you can go back and cultivate. When you're at the same level as me, you can come and find me. Don't ask me why I didn't tell you. Now is the time for your revenge. Forgive me for being blunt, but you're really not my opponent. You're Jian San." Jian San's words left Lang Ming speechless for a moment. He put on a furious expression for a long time before he slowly said, "Just you wait. If you have the ability, don't come back to the Great Desolation Castle." Jianshur-san smiled coldly and said, "Of course I don't want to go back. If it weren't for the Castle Lord's despicable means, I would have returned to the polar region of Hongmeng long ago. Please go back and tell the Castle Lord that one day, I, Jianshur-san, will kill my way there and destroy the entire Great Desolation Castle." Chapter 1897. The Peerless Dragon Emperor. Good, good, good. Remember what you said. Lang Ming was already trembling all over. He unleashed Hongmeng's aura, put away Lang Yan's corpse, and left angrily. Everyone in the Dragon Fox clan was extremely shocked when they saw this turn of events. Perhaps they had never thought that such a crisis, which almost caused the extinction of the Dragon Fox clan, would pass through so easily. Today's events were really full of ups and downs. One should know that Lang Yan alone was enough to make the Dragon Fox clan scratch their heads, let alone Lang Ming from Hongmeng Tianjing. However, after the appearance of Sword 13, this matter that seemed to be as difficult as ascending to the heavens was easily dealt with just like that. Even though Sword 13 had killed Lang Yan with a single strike, Lang Ming, who was Lang Yan's biological father, did not fight with all his might. Instead, he angrily retreated. In this way, their Dragon Fox clan would be able to obtain the protection of Sword 13. At that time, it would not be so easy for the Dragon Wolf clan to bully them again. This could only be a good thing for the Dragon Fox clan. After all, the current Dragon Fox clan was too weak. After Lang Ming left, the Dragon Fox clan leader quickly went to Jianshur-san and Long Chen. Behind him were all the members of the Dragon Fox clan, including Ali. The Dragon Fox clan leader walked to Jianshur-san and Long Chen and bowed deeply. Then, he knelt on the ground and said, "Many thanks to Mr. Long Chen and Jianshur-san's benefactor for your help. The Dragon Fox clan is eternally grateful." At the same time, the members of the Dragon Fox clan behind the Dragon Fox clan leader also knelt on the ground. Long Chen quickly helped the Dragon Fox clan leader up and said, "What are you saying, clan leader? I am friends with Ali, so naturally, I am a friend of the Dragon Fox clan. To be honest, it was a coincidence that I was able to meet my disciple here. Since I can help the Dragon Fox clan this time, it's not worth mentioning." Ali stood at the side and smiled. "Previously, I said that I was going to ask Mr. Long Chen about the human race in the Longmeng Polar region, but I haven't done anything yet. I'm really ashamed," the Dragon Fox Patriarch said slowly. Long Chen smiled and said, "It's fine. I understand the current situation of the Dragon Fox clan. Moreover, I've found a disciple, which is already a good thing for me. I can't force it. Moreover, the Longmeng Polar region is vast and boundless. It's really troublesome to find a person here." The Dragon Fox Patriarch said gratefully, "Thank you for your understanding." Long Chen nodded and said, "Patriarch, my disciple and I have just met. There are some things that we need to discuss. I saw that Lang Ming had injured a lot of people from the Dragon Fox tribe. Why don't you go and tidy things up? My disciple and I have some things to talk about." "Good, good, good." The Dragon Fox Patriarch hurriedly nodded and said, "Of course I wouldn't dare to disturb Mr. Long Chen. You can do whatever you want. The Heavenly Sun Mountain of the Dragon Fox clan is free to roam in the future." Long Chen cupped his fists in thanks and slowly left with Jianshur-san. Benefactor Long Chen's disciple is Mr. 13 of the Great Desolation Castle. This is somewhat unexpected. Moon Spirit, who had appeared beside Ali at some point, exclaimed in surprise. Ali frowned and said, "Is Mr. 13 very powerful?" Moon Spirit pursed her lips and said, "Of course, the leader of the 4 great generals of the Great Desolation Castle is Mr. 13. Ali nodded, a profound look on his face. Long Chen and Jianshur-san came to a quiet place on the Heavenly Sun Mountain. Before Long Chen could speak, Jianshur-san said, "Master, why did you come to the Longmeng Polar region? How did you provoke the Dragon Wolf clan?" Since Jianshi-san asked, Longchen could only tell him about his experience in the star pool world after coming out of the small spirit world. After hearing this, Jianshi-san looked enlightened and said, "So that's how it is. I didn't expect such a thing to happen in the small spirit world." Longchen couldn't help but be curious and hurriedly asked, "What? Don't you know what happened in the small spirit world?" Jianshi-san nodded and said, "After I separated from Master, I went to a place called the ancient battlefield in the small spirit world. There, I found a peerless divine weapon. In order to compete with someone for this divine weapon, I entered a mysterious place in the ancient battlefield with that person. When we were fighting there, for some reason, the space vibrated. When I woke up, I was in the Longmeng polar region." Although Longchen was puzzled, he still nodded and said, "So that's how it is. I was wondering why I didn't see you among those who came out after the small spirit world ended. It turns out that you came to the Longmeng polar region." Jianshi-san said sadly, "Although I don't know why I came to the Longmeng polar region, I could only accept my fate at that time. In addition, I was seriously injured at that time, so I could only rely on some forces in the zone of desolation. Since you have recovered from your injuries now, why are you still in the big yellow castle and become one of the 4 great generals?" Longchen asked. When Jianshi-san thought of this, his expression became a little emotional. He hurriedly said, "It's my fault for being too careless. When I was seriously injured, I relied on a force in the zone of desolation. Naturally, I had to do something for them. Who knew that when I took action, someone in the zone of desolation took a fancy to my strength? Taking advantage of my serious injury at that time, that person planted a bloodline suppression mark in me that was passed down from ancient times. In short, I don't know what it is, but its effect is that he can use this bloodline mark to forcibly control my body. If I have the slightest intention of rebelling, I will suffer endless pain just by standing still. There's such a thing?" Hearing this, Longchen couldn't help but feel angry. Longmu had mentioned the bloodline suppression method to him before, but Longchen felt that it was a little despicable, so he didn't pay much attention to it. He didn't expect that until now, there was really someone who could use this secret method, and it was used on his disciple, Jianshi-san. Jianshi-san shook his head and said, "In the past few years, I have tried to use many methods to break this bloodline suppression method, but without exception, they all ended in failure. The result is that the pain I already suffered is a little deeper, but for me, it's still bearable." Longchen frowned and said, "Is the person who used this secret method on you the Fort Lord of the Great Desolation Castle?" Chapter 1898. Jianshi-san nodded. "Yes, this bloodline suppression method seems to be condensed from the essence and blood of the Great Desolation Castle Lord, and then catalyzed by Hongmeng's spiritual power, so that it is deeply engraved in my body. In a sense, he can even control my mind. Damn it." When he heard Sword 13's description, even Longchen couldn't help but start cursing, and he said, "What's the background of the fort master of this Great Desolation Castle, and what's his background and strength?" Jianshi-san sighed. "The Great Desolation Castle Lord is called Shifeng. He is a demonic beast that was expelled from the Dragon Lion clan hundreds of years ago. His strength is quite unfathomable. Now, he is probably at the 7th or 8th level of Hongmeng Tianjing. After all, it has been too long since I have seen him in action, so I can only describe his strength in this way." Longchen expressed his understanding, and then said, "It seems that we have to settle the score with Shifeng." Jianshi-san's eyes flickered with light when he heard this, and he said, "I had this thought since a long time ago. However, due to the bloodline suppression curse that Shifeng planted in my body, I was utterly unable to resist it, let alone escape. So, I've always stayed in the Great Desolation Fort and worked myself to death for it." Longchen frowned and said, "I heard that there are 4 great generals in the Grand Desolation Fort. You're one of them, and Lang Ming was one as well. What are the other 2 and that vice fort master of the rumors? What are their strengths? To tell you the truth, I've wasted 5 years in the star pool. Otherwise, my strength wouldn't be as slow as yours, Jinja." Jianshi-san hurriedly said, Master, no one can think of the time rules in the star pool world. Moreover, with Master's ability, you will certainly be able to improve your cultivation in the Longmeng polar region. It is only a matter of time. If we're talking about the other people in the Great Desolation Fort, there are indeed a few who aren't easy to deal with other than Shifeng. Tell me about it. We need a long-term plan. We need a goal first, Longchen said calmly. Jian Shirshan exhaled a mouthful of turbid air and said, Lang Ming, whom you've met, naturally doesn't count. That fellow is a bully who fears the strong and bullies the weak. In the Great Desolation Castle, he was polite and amiable to my face, but behind my back, he spoke ill of me a lot. It's just that I'm too lazy to pursue the matter with him. As for the other two war generals, one of them is a cultivator from the Dragon Leopard clan, a loyal follower of Shifeng. The other one is a Hongmeng Tianjing expert from the Dragon Elephant clan. His situation is somewhat similar to mine. Both of us have been sealed by Shifeng's bloodline suppression, so we have no choice but to serve him. Previously, I also had a discussion with him. We agreed that as long as we find a way to break the bloodline suppression, we will escape from the Great Desolation Castle. Since there's someone who can help us win over, the situation is not too bad. Longchen nodded. Subsequently, Sword 13 continued. As for those two Vice Fort Masters, they're indeed slightly difficult to deal with. The two Vice Fort Masters are figures in the Dragon Lion clan that are on good terms with Shifeng, and their strengths aren't inferior to mine. Moreover, every single one of them possesses some trump cards, so it's extremely difficult to deal with them. Is that so? Longchen frowned and said, the two deputy fort masters and Shifeng himself are three Hongmeng Tianjing experts, not to mention that we haven't counted Lang Ming and the cultivator from the Dragon Leopard clan. It seems that this will be a tough battle. Not necessarily. Jian Shirshan said resolutely and decisively. What do you mean? Longchen was confused and could not understand Jian Shirshan's words for a while. Jian Shirshan slowly raised his head, and the sword qi around him fluctuated. In the blink of an eye, a long sword appeared in Jian Shirshan's hand. As long as the bloodline suppression mark on my body is removed, I am confident that I can defeat Shifeng. Jian Shirshan's eyes were sharp as he said firmly. Longchen could see that Jian Shirshan did not seem to be boasting. However, the fort master of the Great Desolation Castle, Shifeng, was possibly an expert on the 8th floor of Hongmeng Tianjing, while Jian Shirshan was only on the 5th floor of Hongmeng Tianjing. Why was Jian Shirshan so confident? What was the long sword in Jian Shirshan's hand? This sword? Longchen looked at the long sword in Jian Shirshan's hand and felt that the sword qi seemed to be a little explosive. Sword 13 said, Master, didn't I tell you before that I was entangled with someone in the ancient battlefield of the small spirit world, and that's why I unintentionally touched some cave and was teleported to the Dragon Ming polar region? Longchen nodded. Jian Shirshan had just said such a thing. Jian Shirshan continued, Master, did you know why I was entangled with that person? Could it be because of this sword? Longchen asked instead of answering. Jian Shirshan nodded his head and said, That's right, I obtained this sword from the ancient battlefield. However, after obtaining it, I was coveted by many people. I finally managed to escape from the entanglement of a group of people, but who knew that I would be provoked by a person who was similar to me and also used a sword. He forced me to hand over this sword, but I refused. Thus, the two of us started to fight like this, and what happened afterwards happened. Longchen realized that this matter was a little unusual, so he asked, Then what is in this sword? Jian Shirshan's face was calm, and he said, At first, I just felt that the sword qi on this long sword was biting cold and was enough for me to control, so I put it away. As for the true power of the long sword, I was not very clear. However, later on, more and more people coveted the long sword that I obtained, so I carefully investigated it. In the small spiritual world, I only knew that there was an extremely pure Hongmeng qi in the long sword. Moreover, it was a Hongmeng qi that specialized in one kind of strength. As long as one could control this qi from the long sword, Hong Meng Qi is to use this qi to release incomparably powerful sword moves. Long Chen nodded. In his heart, he was happy that Jianshi San was able to find a sword that was worthy of him. Then what is the true power of this long sword? Long Chen continued to ask. Jianshi San smiled and kept him in suspense. He said, I only discovered this when I came to the Longmeng Polar region. Master, you also know that in the Longmeng Polar region, there are countless dragon-descendant demon clans with the bloodline of the true dragon. In these demon clans, there are more or less remnants of the dragon clan's bloodline in their bodies. They also rely on this trace of the dragon clan's bloodline to possess cultivation aptitude that other demon clans cannot compare to. I know this. What are you trying to say? Long Chen was a little anxious. Chapter 1899. The Peerless Dragon Emperor. Jianshi San smiled and said, I didn't expect Master to lose his cool one day. Upon hearing this, Long Chen gave him a dark look and said slowly, believe it or not, even if I'm now a Hong Meng Yuan Jia, I can still beat you until you're looking for your teeth on the ground. As soon as he finished speaking, Jianshi San hurriedly took a few steps back and said, I know I was wrong. Master, don't be impulsive. I'll tell you now. Long Chen let out a long breath. Jianshi San was also ready to continue. As I said before, I was injured at that time and couldn't leave for a while. In order to protect myself, I had to join some forces in the Zone of Desolation. It was there, when I was fighting with some demons of the dragon descent, that I discovered that the mysterious Hong Meng Qi and the long sword I obtained was used to suppress the dragon clan. Jianshi San said excitedly. What do you mean? Long Chen frowned and said, You're saying that the Hong Meng Qi in your long sword has a miraculous effect on demon beasts with the dragon clan's bloodline? Jianshi San nodded and said, It's not just a miraculous effect. It's like crushing dry weeds and smashing rotten wood. At first, I didn't know, and thought that those demons of the dragon descent were just superficial. Later, I realized that something was wrong, so I asked the demon beasts of the dragon descent that I had defeated. Only then did I completely understand the mystery of my long sword. The Hong Meng Qi is the essence of the dragon pearl that the person who forged the long sword used an ancient secret skill to enhance it. I heard that the bloodline of the dragon clan in the polar region in ancient times had a suppressive effect on each other. That is to say, the power of the bloodline of the dragon clan with a high realm and strength will naturally suppress other members of the dragon clan, and this suppressive force cannot be offset. The Hong Meng Qi in my long sword was cast from the essence of a dragon pearl condensed by a very powerful real dragon 100,000 years ago. Therefore, whenever I use the Hong Meng Qi in this long sword to fight against those demons of the dragon descent, it will form a pure suppressive force, which is crucial to the control of the whole battle. Jianshi San couldn't help but look excited as he spoke. After listening to Jianshi San's explanation, Long Chen's face was filled with black lines. If what Jianshi San said was true, then the long sword in Jianshi San's hand contained the essence of a dragon pearl condensed from an ancient real dragon. Moreover, the bloodline power of the ancient real dragon was of a high grade, so it was naturally able to suppress the bloodline of the demon beasts of the dragon descent in the polar region. Then, would the Hong Meng Qi in this long sword suppress him? Long Chen's expression was slightly cold as he said slowly, Don't move. Let me have a try. While Jianshi San was confused, Long Chen gently stroked the long sword in his hand. At this moment, before Long Chen could touch the long sword, Long Chen's expression became increasingly gloomy. Master, could it be? Jianshi San was extremely shocked. Long Chen nodded sadly and said, I forgot to tell you that I also have the bloodline of the dragon tribe in my body. However, I'm not a demon beast of the dragon descent. I'm still a proper human. You're right, your long sword does contain the Hong Meng Qi that can suppress the bloodline of the dragon tribe. When I tried to touch the long sword, I immediately felt the suppression of the bloodline. I have to say, 13, you've found a good treasure. Hearing this, Jianshi San laughed and said, Isn't this all thanks to Master? Don't flatter me. If that's the case, your confidence comes from the Hongmeng Qi within the long sword. Have you used this long sword against the Great Desolation Castle Master, Shifeng? Longchen asked with a serious expression. Jianshi shook his head and said, no. When I found out about the use of this long sword, I had already been planted with a bloodline suppression curse by Shifeng. As long as I go against Shifeng's will, I will suffer an intense backlash. This is really not something that is worth showing off to me. If Shifeng were to find out about the mysteries of this long sword of mine, it is likely that he will not allow me to keep this long sword. Longchen nodded and said, what you said makes sense. We should consider it this way. Jianshi said, therefore, since I have this long sword as my trump card, as long as I can get rid of the bloodline suppression seal in my body, even if I lose against Shifeng, I won't lose too badly. Perhaps, I will even have a chance to counterattack. Longchen agreed with Jianshi's words. Longchen had personally experienced the Hongmeng Qi within the long sword. Even Longchen, who had awakened the heavenly dragon bloodline, was suppressed by it, let alone Shifeng, who was a descendant of the draconic lion clan, who possessed the power of the dragon clan's bloodline. It seems that the most important thing right now is to help you get rid of this bloodline suppression seal. Longchen said in disappointment. Although Longchen had heard about this bloodline suppression seal from Longmu, Longchen had no idea how it was set up and how to get rid of it. Moreover, Jianshi had been busy for several years, but he still didn't have a perfect way to get rid of it. It was obvious that the fort master of the Great Desolation Castle, Shifeng, was indeed a man with a mind full of strategies. At least in terms of managing his subordinates, just by relying on the bloodline suppression seal, he could protect his own life without any worries. Moreover, he could also gain the loyalty of his subordinates. Even Jianshi, who was the most disobedient, had to work hard for him. Longchen couldn't help but admire Shifeng's methods. How about this, 13, you try to release the bloodline suppression seal. I will try to understand it. Perhaps, there will be a way. Longchen slowly said with a glimmer of hope. Okay. Jianshi readily agreed. He then sat down cross-legged and took off his clothes. Circulating Hongmeng's spiritual energy, Jianshi's back quickly formed a large seal pattern formed by the convergence of bloodline ravines. Longchen stretched out his hand and gently stroked the seal pattern. Just by adding a little Hongmeng's spiritual energy, the seal pattern was able to stimulate a lot of Hongmeng energy. For a moment, Jianshi frowned. It seemed that Jianshi's actions had violated the rules of the bloodline suppression seal, and the power of the backlash immediately surged up. Longchen faintly sensed the power of the rune pattern. After a while, Longchen's brows relaxed from a frown. In the end, Longchen laughed and said, so it's like this. 13, I think I can help you get rid of this bloodline suppression seal. Chapter 1900. Master, what did you say? You have a way to remove this bloodline suppression curse? Jianshi suddenly became excited when he heard this. Longchen nodded gently and said, it seems that this bloodline suppression curse is formed by the dragon bloodline in Shifeng's body. If you want to break it, you only need to find a dragon bloodline that is more powerful than Shifeng's. The reason why you can't break this bloodline suppression curse is probably because you don't have the dragon bloodline in your body. Hearing this, Jianshi nodded doubtfully, but soon his face became doubtful and he said, Master, even if I don't have the dragon bloodline in my body, the long sword in my hand contains it. In the past, I tried to use the Hongmeng Qi on the long sword to break this bloodline suppression curse, but it didn't work. Longchen said, it seems that this is because the bloodline suppression curse has been deeply embedded in your bloodline. If you only sharpen the long sword on the surface, there is no way to shake the foundation of the bloodline suppression curse, and there is no way to remove it. Jianshi acted as if he had suddenly realized something, and then said, Master, according to your opinion, how can I remove this bloodline suppression curse? It's simple. I have the Dragon Clan's bloodline in my body, and it's definitely stronger than the Dragon Clan's bloodline power that Shifeng used on the bloodline suppression curse. As long as I inject my Dragon Clan's bloodline power into your body and you circulate your own chi, you should be able to break it. If Master can really do it, then it can't be better. When the time comes, we can also break the curse of my Long Xiang friend in the Great Desolation Castle, and we will really have the strength to deal with Shifeng. Jian Shisan said in surprise. But I don't have much confidence. Also, I feel that this bloodline curse must have some kind of connection with Shifeng. Maybe if I break it for you, he will immediately sense it. At that time, he will definitely be more vigilant. Long Chen said slowly. Jian Shisan nodded and said, that makes sense. Perhaps, I have to find an opportunity to get together with Long Xiang and break the curse together. Indeed, we should do that. Otherwise, it is very likely that Shifeng will sense it. Moreover, if we want to take revenge on him and take some things while we are at it, we have to be more careful. Long Chen said with a solemn expression. Jian Shisan replied, Master is really far-sighted. I believe that this time, Lang Ming will definitely tell Shifeng about this matter when he returns. Based on Shifeng's character, he will naturally be suspicious of me. He might even have some bad intentions towards you. Long Chen pondered for a moment and said, why don't we do this? You can temporarily return to the Great Desolation Castle. Firstly, you can calm Shifeng down so that he won't do anything to us for the time being. Secondly, you can tell Long Xiang that I can come into contact with the bloodline suppression curse. Once the preparations are complete, with the long sword in your hand, our chances of victory will be very high. Jian Shisan said with a longing expression, when the time comes, I will destroy the Great Desolation Castle. Long Chen nodded slightly. Looking at Jian Shisan's appearance, he could not help but think of something and said, 13. During the 5 years you were in the Longmeng Polar region, have you seen your junior brother whom you met in the small spiritual world? You mean Long Yuan? Jian Shisan asked. Long Chen nodded and said, that's him. At that time, Jian Shisan did not know of Long Mu's existence. All he knew was Long Yuan. Jian Shisan said slowly, Master, I really did see him once. Long Chen's eyes lit up and he hurriedly said, really? Have you ever contacted him? Jian Shisan shook his head and said, it's like this. When I was in the zone of desolation, I once saw him from afar while carrying out a mission. At that time, I thought you were with him, so I wanted to ask about it. Who knew that before I could find him, I was blocked by someone by Long Yuan's side called Long Mu. At that time, they seemed to be pursued by some people and had no time to pay attention to my existence. As a result, I missed this opportunity. Then you didn't look for him again after that? According to Jian Shisan, Long Chen had confirmed that Long Mu and Long Yuan were in the Longmeng Polar region. However, Long Chen did not give up. Jian Shisan said that this was something that happened 5 years ago. In these 5 years, where did Long Yuan and Long Mu go? Jian Shisan continued, of course I did some investigation, but the news I received shocked me. It turned out that Long Mu was a true dragon. After he and Long Yuan returned to the Longmeng Polar region, they quickly returned to the gathering place of the Dragon Clan. In the Longmeng Polar region, there were not many true dragons left. Naturally, it was difficult to find their gathering place. This information was more or less cut off. The gathering place of the true dragons? Long Chen nodded thoughtfully. However, in these few years, because I was in the Great Desolation Castle, I more or less learned some other secrets. Among them, there was information about the gathering place of the true dragons. Jian Shisan said slowly. Long Chen gestured for Jian Shisan to continue. Jian Shisan continued, it's like this. I heard that as long as you condense the power of your Dragon Clan's bloodline and fly towards the Longmeng Polar region, you will be able to bring the news to the gathering place of the true dragons. Like this? Long Chen was a little surprised. This method was a little too ridiculous. Long Chen said, are you serious? Jian Shisan nodded and said, although I also think it's ridiculous, this method is still circulating in the Longmeng Polar region. I heard that a few thousand years ago, someone really succeeded in making a true dragon appear. If it wasn't for the fact that I don't have the dragon clan's bloodline, I would have tried it long ago. Well, it's still a method. Why don't I give it a try? Longchen said with a smile. Jianshur-san said meaningfully, Master, I believe in you. At this point, Longchen did not hesitate. He immediately condensed the power of the dragon clan's bloodline around him, causing it to slowly gather together. At a speed visible to the naked eye, the power of the dragon clan's bloodline condensed into a pillar of light. Then, Longchen released his mind and injected a piece of information into it. Then, Longchen suddenly exerted his strength. In the blink of an eye, the pillar of light shot straight up, shooting towards the sky above the Longmeng polar region. Soon, the pillar of light became smaller and smaller in Longchen's eyes. In the end, with a soft sound of space exploding, the pillar of light completely disappeared. He did not know if it would succeed. Chapter 1901. Let's do our best and leave the rest to fate, Longchen let out a long sigh. I didn't think I would actually do such a nonsensical thing. Jianshur-san nodded with a smile. Master, don't be too concerned about this matter. Since we know that Long Yuan is in the Longmeng polar region, we will eventually be able to find Long Mu. If we can find her so easily, the entire Great Desolation Castle will surrender when her identity as a real dragon is revealed. This matter will then become boring. Longchen expressed his agreement. After all, this was the Longmeng polar region. In this place, the identity and strength of a real dragon would naturally be above everything else. Master, since it's like this, then I'll return to the Great Desolation Fort so as to avoid that fellow, Lion Wind, from arousing suspicion, and I can't allow Lang Ming to sow discord there for nothing. Sword 13 smiled as he spoke. Longchen pondered for a moment, then nodded. All right, I know nothing about the Great Desolation Castle. In addition, we just had a conflict with Lang Ming, so it's best for me to stay at Heavenly Sun Mountain. When you've settled the matters at the Great Desolation Castle and brought Long Xiang to our side, I will go to the Great Desolation Castle and start the uprising together. Okay. Jianshur-san agreed. Jianshur-san had the same intention. After all, if Longchen went to other places, it would only add to his troubles. Heavenly Sun Mountain is also not bad. It seems that you have a good relationship with the Dragon Fox clan. There is something I have to tell you. What is it? Longchen was a little concerned. Jianshur-san said, the reason why the Dragon Fox clan has been bullied to this extent over the years is largely due to the joint oppression of many demon clans. It is very difficult for the Dragon Fox clan alone to resist the many demon clans. You should know that the Dragon Fox clan is the clan with the most compatible bloodline with the Dragon clan. In other words, if the Dragon Fox clan can awaken the Dragon clan's bloodline, their strength will definitely surpass the other dragon descendant demon clans. It is because of this relationship that the other dragon descendant demon clans bully the Dragon Fox clan to their heart's content, forcing the Dragon Fox clan's strength to not be so heaven-defying. Oh, there's another reason. If you didn't tell me, I wouldn't have known. Longchen shrugged. Jianshur-san smiled and said, there must be a lot of secrets in the Dragon Fox clan that can help the Dragon Fox clan awaken their dragon bloodline. However, there is no one to protect them, so the Dragon Fox clan has declined. If Master wants to help the Dragon Fox clan, rather than treating the symptoms but not the root cause, it is better to persuade the current Dragon Fox clan to try. Longchen nodded and said, okay, I'll talk to him when I have the chance. Jianshur-san smiled and said, in that case, Master, I'll go back first. I'll come look for you when I'm done with the matters at the Great Desolation Castle. Jianshur-san straightened his clothes after he finished speaking. Hong Meng energy burst out from his body and he leaped up. Be careful in everything you do. Especially at a critical moment like this, you absolutely cannot lose your footing. Even if that fellow Shifeng is intentionally probing you, you still have to think clearly before dealing with him. Longchen reminded. Don't worry, I know what I'm doing. Master, you take care of yourself here. I'm going. Jianshur Sam left on his sword after he finished speaking. The Dragon Fox clan was currently celebrating the fact that they had chased Lang Ming away. Longchen returned to the wooden house where he had rested last night and found that Ali was already guarding it. "Is something the matter?" Longchen asked with a smile. Ali also smiled faintly and said, "Anyway, thank you." Longchen nodded and said, "It's all right. I didn't expect things to develop like this. To be honest, I was even prepared to fight Lang Ming to the death." Ali pouted and said, "Is our Dragon Fox clan really worth it for you to do this?" Longchen's expression was solemn as he said, "I don't know if the Dragon Fox clan is worth it, but you, Ali, are." Ali's face suddenly turned red after he finished speaking. "You, don't talk nonsense," Ali said coquettishly. Longchen hurriedly smiled and said, "I can't stop talking. Don't take it to heart." "I'm just saying." Ali's expression really changed when she heard this. "I knew you didn't have any good intentions," Ali said to herself. However, Longchen saw it clearly. Ali's blush just now was not an act. Longchen was also confused as to why he would say such things to Ali. "This doesn't conform to my identity at all." Subsequently, the two of them were silent for a while, and they couldn't help but fall into an awkward situation. After a short while, Longchen suddenly thought of something and said, "Ali, let me ask you something." "What is it?" Ali immediately became interested. Clearly, Ali had been waiting for Longchen to speak. Longchen didn't notice this and said slowly, "I heard that your Dragon Fox clan was a dragon descendant demon clan that commanded a region in the early years, and it was extremely powerful. Why did it become so dilapidated now?" After thinking about it, Longchen could only describe it like this. Although it was a little straightforward, it was right after all. Ali was a little depressed when she heard this. It wasn't because she was disgusted by Longchen's description of her clan, but because she really thought of this matter and was worried. "I know about what you said. When I was young, someone also mentioned to me that our Dragon Fox clan used to rely on the power of the Dragon Clan bloodline in our bodies, and almost everyone was extremely powerful. However, a long time ago, because of an accident, our bloodline was affected. Even if we had the Dragon Clan bloodline, we couldn't fully release it. This caused our Dragon Fox clan to be so weak now, and we are bullied by other demon clans everywhere," Ali said slowly. Longchen nodded and said, "That is to say, because your Dragon Fox clan can't fully awaken the power of the bloodline in your body, you can't raise your strength to the best state. In terms of cultivation, you can't be compared to the dragon descendant demon clans who can awaken the Dragon Clan bloodline." Ali nodded, looking depressed. "I may have a way to awaken the Dragon Clan bloodline," Longchen suddenly said. Ali was not overjoyed this time, and she still looked depressed. She said, "Our Dragon Fox clan naturally knows that we should awaken the Dragon Clan bloodline. For thousands of years, our Dragon Fox clan has a unique method of awakening the Dragon Clan bloodline. However, since that accident, all the Dragon Foxes who chose to cultivate this method of awakening the bloodline died suddenly. Therefore, the clan sealed this method of awakening the bloodline. We would rather not let the Dragon Fox clan see the light of the future than let more Dragon Foxes die for the sake of awakening the bloodline." Longchen was speechless when he heard this. Chapter 1902. In order to prevent the death of the Dragon Fox clan from practicing the Bloodline Awakening method, the Bloodline Awakening method was sealed. The consequence was that the Dragon Fox clan was bullied and humiliated, and in the end, more clansmen died. Was this method really suitable? Longchen pondered for a long time, and said, "Ali, can you tell me the reason for the accident you mentioned? Why was the Bloodline Awakening of the Dragon Fox clan able to proceed smoothly before, but after that incident, it failed?" Hearing this, Ali's expression gradually became a little sad, and she asked with some embarrassment, "Do you really want to hear it?" Longchen nodded, and said, "Of course I want to hear it, but if you don't want to say it, because the Dragon Fox clan's secrets can't be told to an outsider like me, I don't care." Ali pondered for a long time, and said, "Anyway, you have helped our Dragon Fox clan once. It's not a big deal to tell you this kind of thing. Before Longchen responded, Ali continued, in fact, the accident happened 10,000 years ago. The Dragon Fox clan has been sealing this matter, just like sealing the bloodline awakening method. The reason is related to a scandal of our Dragon Fox clan. Ah. Longchen was a little surprised, and immediately sighed. Ali let out a long breath, and said, it's like this. The reason for this matter, it starts with the bloodline awakening method of our Dragon Fox clan. The bloodline awakening method of our Dragon Fox clan is not as simple as the bloodline awakening of other dragon descendant monster clans. Some of the other dragon descendant monster clans even awaken the dragon bloodline in their body when they are born, but our Dragon Fox clan has to go through a ceremony, or a kind of curse, to completely awaken the dragon bloodline in the body, and thus improve our strength. And this method of bloodline awakening requires the guidance of a senior of the Dragon Fox clan who has successfully awakened the dragon bloodline. The awakened dragon bloodline must be infused into the body of the person who needs to awaken the dragon bloodline. Only then can the next dragon bloodline awaken successfully. However, 10,000 years ago, a cultivation genius appeared in the Dragon Fox clan. He was only 1,000 years old, but he had already become a Hongmeng Tianjing. He was only a few steps away from becoming a Hongmeng Tao ancestor. However, this cultivation genius seemed to have encountered a bottleneck in his cultivation and was stuck in a realm in the Hongmeng firmament realm. No matter how hard he cultivated, there was no way for him to cross this threshold. Ali explained slowly. Longchen listened carefully, afraid that he would miss any important details. Ali continued, later on, I don't know how he got the news, but this cultivation genius actually understood that with his identity as a dragon fox, which has the bloodline of the dragon clan and the fox clan intertwined, there was no way for him to advance his cultivation realm in this lifetime. After hearing this news, the cultivation genius lost his soul for a long time. After all, there was no way for him to give up his natural identity as a dragon fox. However, after this cultivation genius received another piece of news, which made him ecstatic. What news? Longchen asked. Ali said, the news that this cultivation genius received was about a secret technique to divide the bloodline power in the body. Although he didn't know where it came from, and didn't know whether this secret technique was useful or not, the cultivation genius couldn't wait to practice it. Later on, the results showed that this secret technique was indeed useful. When the cultivation genius used this secret technique, he really divided the bloodline of the dragon clan and the fox clan in his body. This surprised everyone, but before everyone could recover from this surprise, a new problem came one after another. When the cultivation genius divided his bloodline power, he fell into a dilemma. He didn't know whether to keep the bloodline of the dragon clan or the fox clan. Keeping the bloodline of the dragon clan was equivalent to having the strength of the dragon clan, and it was just around the corner for him to advance to the Hongmeng Tao ancestor. However, the price of this was that the cultivation genius could only live without a body. After all, in the Longmeng polar region, even a true dragon was difficult to find, let alone a dragon's corpse. If he chose to keep the bloodline of the fox clan, although it could be temporarily lodged in his previous body, in this way, there was no way to advance his cultivation realm by relying only on the bloodline of the fox clan. It was already a good thing to be able to maintain his strength and not regress. As Ali spoke, it was as if she was putting herself in the cultivation genius' shoes, faintly calculating what choice she would make if she was in his shoes. What happened next? How did he choose? Longchen couldn't wait to ask. Ali nodded and continued, he didn't choose, or rather, he had already made a choice when he was practicing the secret technique. The two bloodline powers that he had separated had abandoned his original body at the same time. After all, his original body was the body of the Dragon Fox clan. Since the bloodline in his body had been isolated, naturally no one would be willing to submit to someone else. In this way, the two bloodline powers defected. Didn't you say that he had already divided the bloodline powers into two? Then, after the two bloodline powers defected, what happened to the cultivation genius? Longchen was a little curious. Ali nodded and said, naturally, he died. Ali said it casually, but Long Chen could feel what the cultivation genius was thinking before he died. He really felt like he was working for someone else. However, this matter became the beginning of a nightmare for the Dragon Fox clan. Ali's expression changed, becoming extremely solemn as she said, the two bloodline powers that were separated are actually the two consciousnesses of that cultivation genius. It's just that one consciousness thinks he's from the Dragon clan and the other thinks he's from the Fox clan. Originally, the Dragon Fox clan at that time thought that the two bloodline powers were the cultivation genius of the past, and treated them with respect at first. However, not long after, the Dragon Fox clan at that time realized that the matter was unusual. When Long Chen heard this, he smiled faintly and said, I think those two bloodline powers look down on the Dragon Fox clan from the bottom of their hearts. In fact, they even attacked the Dragon Fox clan under certain circumstances, right? Ali was slightly shocked, but still nodded bitterly and said, you're right, that's indeed the case. After being quiet for a long time, the two bloodline powers finally launched an attack on the Dragon Fox tribe. You should know that the cultivation geniuses back then were the strongest in the Dragon Fox tribe. Now that two of them have appeared, the Dragon Fox tribe will naturally find it difficult to resist. Chapter 1903. Ali continued, just like that, the Dragon Fox clan exhausted all of its power to suppress the two consciousnesses and prevent the Dragon Fox clan from being destroyed. From then on, all the ancestors of the Dragon Fox clan who had awakened the power of the Dragon clan's bloodline had entered the forbidden land of the Dragon Fox clan, just like the two consciousnesses, and never appeared again. After listening to this, Long Chen nodded and analyzed, that is to say, after that, if the Dragon Fox clan wanted to awaken the power of the Dragon clan's bloodline in your body, there would be no seniors to guide you, right? Ali agreed and said, that's not entirely the case. In fact, after the ancestors entered the Forbidden Land, if there were clansmen who wanted to awaken the power of the Dragon clan's bloodline in their body, they only needed to enter the Forbidden Land, find the ancestors who suppressed the two consciousnesses, and ask them for help. However, later, because other clans learned about the situation of our Dragon Fox clan, they began to provoke our Dragon Fox clan. Later, fewer and fewer Dragon Foxes were able to awaken the power of the Dragon clan's bloodline in their body, and fewer clansmen who entered the Forbidden Land were able to return alive. Gradually, things developed to the current situation. Long Chen frowned and said, now, there is no one in the Dragon Fox clan who has awakened the power of the Dragon clan's bloodline, and the Forbidden Land has been closed. This is equivalent to the Dragon Fox clan being completely cut off. Ali sighed and said, that's more or less the case. Long Chen thought for a moment and said, I think, in the current situation, if your Dragon Fox clan does not try again, perhaps in the future, the Dragon Fox clan will forget the existence of such a method. After a few thousand years, the Dragon Fox clan will think that the strength of the Dragon Fox clan has always been like this. At that time, there will be no other way. Ali looked thoughtful for a long time and said, then, do you think I can awaken the power of the Dragon clan's bloodline in my body? As soon as he finished speaking, Long Chen paused. For a moment, he did not know what to say. Going to the Forbidden Land of the Dragon Fox clan to awaken the power of the Dragon clan bloodline in his body could be said to be a 9 out of 10 chance of survival. However, if he did not do so, the Dragon Fox clan could only be bullied by the other demon clans. According to the current situation, the Dragon Fox clan would probably be destroyed in the Long Meng Polar region in less than a few thousand years. Tell me, do you think I can go to the Forbidden Area to awaken the power of the Dragon bloodline in my body? Ali asked. After a while, Long Chen let out a long breath and gave an answer that satisfied him. If you want to go, I'll accompany you. As soon as she said that, Ali's cheeks suddenly flushed red. You? That place is a taboo place for our Dragon Fox clan. You're an outsider. What right do you have to go there? Ali spoke without thinking. Long Chen had an indifferent look on his face as he said, what? With the current strength of your Dragon Fox clan, if I wanted to go, would anyone be able to stop me? Thinking about it carefully, these words did have some meaning. Ali did not know how to reply. How about this, I'll go and discuss it with Ah Ching. Just like you said, if we don't try now, we won't have this chance anymore. Ali said slowly. Longchen nodded and said, you should do that. Why don't you go and talk to him now? This kind of thing will change more every day. When you go, I'll go with you. Ali smiled and said, then it's a promise. But let's make it clear first, when you go to the forbidden area, you can't have any thoughts about the treasures there. Longchen said, of course. Before Longchen could finish speaking, Ali left towards the wooden house of the Dragon Fox clan. Longchen did not finish his sentence. That sentence was, I won't have any thoughts about the treasures in the forbidden area of the Dragon Fox clan. I only have thoughts about you. Even if he did not say it out loud, Longchen did not panic. He thought that he would say it in the future when he had the chance. But because of this sentence was delayed again and again. Many years later, when Longchen was at the edge of life and death, he could not help but regret not saying this earlier. Arriving at the wooden house, Ali found the patriarch of the Dragon Fox clan, Ah Ching, and said, Ah Ching, there's something I want to discuss with you. The patriarch of the Dragon Fox clan was a little surprised and hurriedly said, what is it? I want to go to the forbidden area. Ali said firmly. Ah. The patriarch of the Dragon Fox clan was shocked and hurriedly said, Ali, what's wrong with you? You and I both know the dangers of the forbidden area very well. Why? Ali shook her head and said, Ah Ching, don't you see it clearly? The current situation is extremely critical for the Dragon Fox clan. Although Longchen's strength can temporarily hold on for a while, Longchen will not stay here forever. If the Dragon Fox clan wants to truly establish a foothold in the Longmeng Polar region and restore the glory of 10,000 years ago and no longer be bullied by other demon clans, someone must awaken the power of the Dragon Clan bloodline in their body. But the patriarch of the Dragon Fox clan was a little hesitant. No buts. Ali said firmly, like I said, this is the last chance. Now, the Great Desolation Castle and the Dragon Wolf clan have an indelible grudge with our Dragon Fox clan. In addition, the Dragon Python clan at the back of the Heavenly Sun Mountain is about to end their dormant period. Chapter 1904. The next morning, almost all the members of the Dragon Fox clan gathered together and walked to the front of a secret cave near the peak of Heavenly Sun Mountain. This was the forbidden area of the Dragon Fox clan, and also the place where the ancestors of the Dragon Fox clan suppressed the two consciousnesses of the cultivation genius. Everyone looked at the hidden cave and felt the ripples of the hidden array around the cave. They couldn't help but feel a solemn and stirring atmosphere in the air. Ever since the patriarch announced that Ali was going to enter the forbidden area of the Dragon Fox clan, it undoubtedly caused a huge uproar in the Dragon Fox clan. Many clansmen were not optimistic about Ali's actions and felt that Ali would die without a doubt. But on the other hand, the members of the Dragon Fox clan felt that Ali entering the forbidden area of the Dragon Fox clan was an act of hope. Most of them hoped that Ali could successfully come out of the forbidden area and awaken the power of the Dragon clan's bloodline. This way, the strength of the Dragon Fox clan would directly rise by a level. Longchen and Ali stood together, facing the forbidden area of the Dragon Fox clan. The patriarch stood aside and said, Mr. Longchen, this time, I'm counting on you. Longchen smiled and nodded. I will do my best. Whether I can awaken the power of the Dragon Clan bloodline in Ali's body this time, I will make sure Ali comes out in one piece. When Ali heard this, she naturally felt warm in her heart. The patriarch nodded and immediately released the power of Hongmeng around him. Soon, the hidden cave in front of Longchen glowed with vitality that was not there before. It seemed that the patriarch had used a secret technique to awaken some of the spiritual creatures in the cave. The two forces were involved with each other to form such a situation. In the blink of an eye, a thick layer of Hongmeng qi emerged from the cave. From afar, a huge cloud of qi condensed and completely covered the original entrance of the cave. the members of the Dragon Fox clan all stepped back in unison, afraid that something bad would happen. Ali, on the other hand, did not flinch. She stabilized her aura and slowly took a step forward. "Go!" Longchen immediately followed, and the two of them, one in front and one behind, stepped into the mass of air. "You must come back." Ah Ching, the patriarch of the Dragon Fox clan, said with a glimmer in his eyes. Entering this strange and unpredictable Hongmeng cloud, Longchen immediately felt a strong fluctuation of Hongmeng energy. Unknowingly, Longchen had entered another space. It was only at this time that Longchen discovered the mysteries of this Hongmeng cloud. He couldn't help but sigh in his heart at the wonders of this forbidden land of the Dragon Fox clan. When the Hongmeng air mass in front of them gradually dissipated, what entered their eyes was a vast and boundless pure white space, as if they were standing on an endless cloud. Longchen looked around and found that he and Ali had unknowingly arrived at the center of the cloud. It was as if there was no way out. Ali was not as shocked as Longchen. Her expression was still calm as she slowly walked forward. "Ali, do you know where to go?" Longchen could not help but ask. Ali nodded and said, "I can feel the pull of the bloodline. Trust me." Longchen had no choice but to follow. After all, this was the forbidden land of the Dragon Fox clan. As a Dragon Fox, Ali naturally had telepathy that Longchen could not feel. Following behind Ali, Longchen seemed to be strolling on the cloud, moving forward little by little. During this time, Longchen also fully activated his Hongmeng energy. It could be said that he was always prepared for battle, for fear that some danger would suddenly appear. After walking for a distance, Ali suddenly stopped, and Longchen stopped as well. Immediately, he saw that in front of Ali, there was a layer of Hongmeng energy condensed into a Dragon Fox shadow. It was quietly and peacefully standing on the cloud, as if it was guarding something. Ali bowed respectfully to the Dragon Fox Phantom and said, "Descendant Ali has come to pay his respects. Ancestors, I hope you can understand." In Longchen's eyes, the Dragon Fox shadow did not have the slightest bit of vitality. It was purely relying on the unique flow of qi in this forbidden land to preserve it so well. However, Longchen also bowed to Ali. No matter what, etiquette had to be shown. After that, Ali began to move forward. Because they were surrounded by clouds that looked exactly the same, Longchen was about to get dizzy. If it wasn't for the fact that Ali seemed to be able to sense the unique Dragon Fox sensing power, Longchen would have thought that Ali was walking blindly. After that, the two of them continuously encountered Dragon Fox shadows one after another. Just like before, the two of them bowed to them one by one. Just when Longchen could not bear it anymore and was about to complain, Ali suddenly stopped. Longchen originally thought that they had encountered another Dragon Fox shadow, but this time, when he looked carefully, he did not find anything. Ali stood in place and slowly released his Hongmeng energy. Longchen realized that Ali might have discovered something, so he did not go forward to disturb him. When Ali released her primordial energy into the clouds, the pleasant cry of a fox could be heard. At first, the sound was rather soft, but as time went on, the fox's cry actually resounded in the surroundings. Under the fox cry, Longchen could not help but feel a sense of crisis. Longchen sensed very clearly that between the clouds, the Hongmeng spiritual energy was constantly fluctuating, as if something was about to come out. As expected, the primordial spiritual qi that had been triggered by the fox cry began to gather together. Almost in an instant, a dragon fox silhouette that seemed to have materialized appeared. Only then did Longchen understand that the dragon fox shadows they encountered were all transformed by the ancestors of the dragon foxes in this forbidden land. However, they had completely lost their vitality and did not have the ability to help Ali. Now, the dragon fox shadow that appeared was full of vitality. Obviously, this dragon fox shadow could help Ali. Ali knelt in front of the dragon fox shadow and said, "Descendant Ali has come here today to ask the ancestors to help me awaken the power of the dragon clan bloodline in my body. Finally, someone has come. If this drags on, I'm afraid my vitality will dissipate like those people." The Dragon Fox clan will no longer have a chance. The Dragon Fox shadow said slowly. Hearing this, Longchen quickly frowned. Since the Dragon Fox shadow was transformed by a Dragon Fox, why could he not feel a trace of the power of the Dragon clan bloodline on it? Chapter 1905. Naturally, Ali did not notice this. She looked at the Dragon Fox phantom in front of her with utmost sincerity. She slowly stretched out her hand and touched the Dragon Fox phantom. The corners of the Dragon Fox phantom's mouth slowly raised, as if it had been waiting for a long time. Just as Ali was about to touch the Dragon Fox's shadow, Ali felt a strong tug, and she couldn't help but fall back. Longchen caught Ali and held her in his arms. Seeing that there was no one around, Ali could not help but feel puzzled. "Longchen, what are you doing?" Ali was shocked. Longchen stabilized Ali's body and took a step forward. He looked straight at the Dragon Fox phantom suspended in midair with a dignified expression. 10,000 years ago, there were two bloodline powers. "I don't know which one you belong to. Are you from the Dragon clan or the Fox clan?" Longchen said firmly. As soon as he finished speaking, the atmosphere in the mysterious white cloud suddenly froze. The Dragon Fox phantom looked at Longchen, who suddenly jumped out to intervene, and its expression changed slightly. It looked a little angry. Ali quickly walked forward and shouted at Longchen, "Longchen, what are you doing? This is obviously the phantom of my Dragon Fox clan's ancestor. How could it be?" After Ali said this, she also had a trace of doubt. If it was so easy to find the phantom of the Dragon Fox ancestor that could help her, then why would she talk about dying in this forbidden land? The Dragon Fox phantom in front of him was indeed somewhat suspicious. But why was Longchen so sure that it was the two bloodline powers of the cultivation genius from 10,000 years ago? "Who are you? You are not from my Dragon Fox clan. How can you enter the forbidden land?" The Dragon Fox phantom said slowly. Longchen smiled and said, "You dare to call yourself a member of the Dragon Fox clan? Do you really think that my eyes are just for decoration? If I am not wrong, you are the energy body formed by the Dragon clan's bloodline that was separated from the cultivation genius from 10,000 years ago, right?" As soon as he finished speaking, the Dragon Fox phantom looked as if it was struck by lightning. "Who are you?" The Dragon Fox phantom said sternly. "Why, you can't pretend anymore." Longchen's mouth twitched as he said, "It seems that you have deceived many members of the Dragon Fox clan over the past 10,000 years. When they thought that you could help them awaken the power of the Dragon clan's bloodline in their bodies, you took advantage of the situation and devoured them?" After Longchen, the Dragon Fox phantom, the Hongmeng spiritual body, the Dragon Fox phantom, and the Hongmeng spiritual chi around it. The Hongmeng chi translation was, the Hongmeng chi translation chi chi chi, chi translation chi chi translation translation, the Meng translation 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 chi chi translation 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 underscore translation. Was translation. Ita translation S translation. Was on S translation. Translation. Chen. To Chen's to ancest dragon. To be. You. That's translation. When Ali saw this scene, she couldn't help but feel her heart palpitate. Just now, she was about to let this thing enter her body. Now that she thought about it, she was really scared. The Hongmeng spiritual body laughed out loud and said, "So what if you saw through me? A human, a dragon fox, and two Hongmeng yuan GS trash. You want to benefit from me?" Longchen didn't lose out in the slightest and said loudly, "If you say we're trash, then aren't you the same? You've been trapped in this forbidden land for nearly 10,000 years, and you still can't get out." The Hongmeng spiritual body was not angry and said calmly, "Once I devour the two of you, my strength will be promoted. At that time, I only need to kill those old bastards who have been trying their best to exhaust my strength, and I will be able to escape. When I get out, I will slaughter the Dragon Fox clan to take revenge for being imprisoned for 10,000 years. Aren't you afraid of biting your tongue? Longchen roared angrily and said, it's just the power of the Dragon clan's bloodline that was separated from the Dragon Fox's body. Now, it has gathered into a primordial spiritual body just by relying on that ground. Does it really think that it's part of the Dragon clan? Hong Meng's aura suddenly rose around the Hong Meng spiritual body. She said loudly, my body is part of the Dragon clan's translation. Why can't I be promoted to the Dragon clan? I just need to find a body that I can attach to, and I will be a true dragon in this Long Meng polar land. Longchen chuckled and said, perhaps if I didn't exist, this idea of yours could have been realized. However, I'm sorry to tell you that since I've encountered this matter, you won't succeed. The primordial spiritual body increased the primordial spiritual chi around him again as he shouted, who gave you such confidence? Let me tell you, my body is filled with the power of the Dragon clan's bloodline. Moreover, I am a primordial spiritual body of the primordial firmament realm. What can a mere primordial realm cultivator like you do to me? Longchen smiled and did not respond. Instead, he released the power of the heavenly dragon bloodline in his body. The heavenly dragon of the 9 heavens, call the wind and summon the rain. The rich and pure heavenly dragon's translation pressed down on the white ball of chi, and Ali almost lost her balance. What? Hong Meng's spiritual body turned pale with fright. She quickly condensed the Hong Meng spiritual body around her and said sternly, you also have the Dragon clan's translation, and it has already been awakened? Longchen shrugged and said, why, are you surprised? I don't know if my Dragon clan's translation can subdue you. Hong Meng's spiritual body forcibly stabilized her mind and said disdainfully, even if your Dragon clan's translation is strong, I can't suppress you in this aspect. But so what? I'm a Hong Meng Tianjing spiritual body. No matter how strong you are, you can't kill me. Stubborn. Do you really think that you are a true dragon in your heart? So what if you are a Hong Meng Tianjing spiritual body? If you had that ability, you wouldn't have been trapped here for so many years. Longchen shouted sternly. You're courting death. Hong Meng's spiritual body was finally enraged. It directly released the Hong Meng spiritual body that it had been condensing for a long time. At the same time, the entire colorful cloud displayed layers of strange phenomena. It seemed that Hong Meng's spiritual body had been here for 10,000 years and had planned something. Ali, back off. Longchen turned around and reminded her. Ali frowned and said, I'm not backing off. This is what I should be facing. I can rely on you to help me now, but can I rely on you for the rest of my life? Longchen wanted to say something but stopped. Be careful. Longchen said slowly. Hong Meng's spiritual body rushed forward. Layers of chi waves burst out from the white cloud and rushed toward Longchen and Ali. Above the cloud, the white aura sea began to spin crazily. Deep whirlpools began to form. Almost in an instant, several primordial spirit pillars shot out from these whirlpools, floating majestically in the air. Chapter 1906. Bang! The densely packed white Hong Meng spirit pillars rained down like a torrential downpour. Mixed with the powerful Hong Meng gang chi, it was a mighty sight. Although Longchen had tacitly agreed that Ali could fight alongside him, he still protected Ali behind him. Longchen's eyes flashed with a cold light. The Hong Meng aura around him surged, and in the blink of an eye, Longchen directly condensed 9 fire dragons. Within his meridians, the fire dragon phantoms were constantly growing. The 9 fire dragons collided head-on with the white Hong Meng spirit pillars without the slightest hesitation. Just as the fire dragons came into contact with the torrential downpour of Hong Meng spirit pillars, the energy above the Hong Meng spirit pillars was directly devoured. However, the fire dragons were not affected in the slightest. They were still in midair, looking down on the world. Heavenly dragon art? 9 parts? How is that possible? Upon seeing this, the Hongmeng's spirit body immediately shouted out. Longchen was also shocked. Ever since he mastered the 9 parts heavenly dragon art, many people were only amazed by the power of Longchen's technique. However, they did not know what this technique was. They never expected that in the forbidden land of the Dragon Fox clan, this Hongmeng spirit body, who was neither a dragon nor a fox, would actually know the name of the heavenly dragon art. From the looks of it, this Hongmeng spirit body did not have a simple background. You know your stuff? That's interesting. Longchen smiled. Hongmeng's spirit body was shocked and said, Who are you? You're obviously from the human clan, but you have such a pure and awakened dragon clan bloodline. Most importantly, you can actually use the heavenly dragon art, and it's the 9 parts heavenly dragon art? Longchen's expression changed slightly, and said, You actually know this. I'm a little curious. Who are you? Hongmeng's spirit body slightly restrained his own Hongmeng aura, and said, Let me tell you, I naturally have my own abilities to be able to find the secret technique to extract my own bloodline 10,000 years ago. Although I'm now imprisoned in the Forbidden Land, I've already devoured all the life energy in this Forbidden Land. Even the fox bloodline spirit body that appeared with me translation, Hongmeng translation, Hongmeng translation, Hongmeng spirit body, spirit translation, Hong, translation, Hongmeng translation, shameless. When the primordial spirit body finished speaking, Ali, who hadn't spoken much, suddenly cursed. As it turned out, those dragon fox tribesmen had already been devoured by the dragon clan's bloodline spirit body. Shameless? Hongmeng smiled and said, This is quite suitable for me. 10,000 years ago, I should have done my best to annihilate your dragon fox clan. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been reduced to this state. I'm actually trapped in this forbidden land by your tiny and weak dragon fox clan. Ali had never imagined that the forbidden land that she had dreamt of, that could bring her opportunities and hope, would actually become such a hell. Longchen frowned and said, You said that the reason you're still trapped here is because the Dragon Fox clan and a few of their ancestors are pressuring you? A glimmer of hope appeared on Ali's gloomy face. Hongmeng's spiritual body snorted coldly and said, They're just a few old farts. If it weren't for those extremely lethal formations, they wouldn't have survived. With Hongmeng's spiritual body's response, Longchen smiled and said, In other words, as long as I kill you, we can see the real dragon fox ancestor, right? After observing Longchen's 9 fire dragons for a while, Hongmeng's spiritual body had a rough idea of the ability of Longchen's heavenly dragon secret art. Naturally, he was no longer as fearful as before. If you don't want to die, you can give it a try. I gave you face just now because of the heavenly dragon secret art, but now I realize that your heavenly dragon secret art is just for show. No matter what, you're still a human and will never be able to display the true strength of the heavenly dragon secret art. Hongmeng's spiritual body clamored. Longchen nodded and said, Indeed, although I've cultivated the heavenly dragon secret art to the 9th stage, I still can't display its full strength. However, I can't only have the heavenly dragon secret art as my only trump card. You haven't seen some of my techniques yet. As soon as his voice fell, Longchen suddenly exerted his strength and Hongmeng's aura burst out. In Longchen's meridians, the fire dragon shadow that had been gathered for a long time was finally warmed to the extreme by Longchen. Rise! Longchen shouted loudly, and the fire dragon shadow in his meridians was directly peeled off from Longchen's meridians. The fire dragon shadow condensed in midair and immediately a wave of pressure spread between heaven and earth. Fire dragon world. Once the power and pressure of the fire dragon shadow appeared, it naturally suppressed the aura of the spirit pillars that were originally formed by the white gas masses controlled by Hongmeng's spirit body. Since you know the heavenly dragon's secret art, then I don't need to introduce the technique that I'm using now, right? Longchen said with a smile. Hongmeng's spirit body felt the power of the fire dragon that was condensed between heaven and earth, and his expression was finally terrified. Soon, Hongmeng's spirit body said in fear, "Fire dragon world? You're just a human. How is this possible? How is this possible?" In the heart of Hongmeng's spirit body, monstrous waves had already set off. This human Hongmeng Yuanjie, who didn't show any strength at all at the beginning, actually had such a terrifying trump card that shocked him one after another. What happened in the Longmeng polar region in the 10,000 years that he wasn't here? Longchen naturally wouldn't wait for Hongmeng's spirit body to stop looking shocked. It wasn't easy for him to condense the fire dragon shadow, so naturally he wanted to let it display its greatest strength. Hongmeng's aura fluctuated around Longchen, and 9 fire dragons surrounded the fire dragon shadow. The fire dragon world's power of heaven and earth enveloped it. Those white clouds had long since disappeared without a trace. And with the support of the fire dragon shadow, Hongmeng's aura surged even more violently around the 9 fire dragons. Fire dragon world. Longchen shouted fiercely. The fire dragon pressure that filled the sky swept down. The 9 fire dragons seemed to be real, and each of them radiated an extremely powerful aura as they directly bombarded Hongmeng's spirit body. Seeing this scene, Hongmeng's spirit body knew that it was no match for the fire dragons, and immediately escaped into the void. Wanting to escape, you're tuning into the Mythic Realms YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.